Take a look. Like I said, I'm going to use this account not only to post more content around like politics, but just more content, period. You know, anime, content, just black people shit. All right. I mean, stuff that I think that I would enjoy more without just like, oh, hey, politics, you know? I'm still going to give you the politics, but if you're interested, then make sure you check that one out. So here's the backup to the backup right there. Boom, backup to the backup. Follow the backup to the backup. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started here in just a few moments. So if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. How are we doing over on the tube? Heidi, good morning. Joe, good morning. Muzin, good morning. Suzanne, good morning. Julie Snow, good morning. Tubers, what up? What up to the tube? Guys, so we're going to go ahead and get started here in just one moment. Again, if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live. Send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. And guys, with sharing the live, it's super important, right? Share it once or twice. But more than anything, if you don't mind, repost it. Repost the live. Repost the live. Super duper 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 important. Super duper 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 important. Guys, two quick things that I really want to talk about before we go too far, right? Before we get into the debates, two really quick things that I want to actually get into is one, the Epstein files have been absolutely crazy, right? I think it was purposely done that way to dump a bunch of information out there all at one time to try to distract people from actually locking in on what is actually happening and just all this other stuff. I think the way they did it with those 3 million additional files was very intentional, and it was more so done to distract. So I think that was, I think that's just their way of trying to muddy the water. Even more so because then Trump, of course, came out and said, oh, the new release completely absolved him, which is not true. Like if you look at the new batch of information, it's super damning for Trump. But he said it absolved him. And even more so, there's a lot of conspiracy theories that are wrapped up into the new files. And it gives the, what I've seen, certain Trump supporters that want to believe and like all the conspiracy theories, it gives them the coverage to believe in the conspiracy theories, which is not a good thing, but like there's that. But there's something interesting that has really caught my eye, and this, black man being a black man, right? Something super, super, super interesting that I was like, So with the email information going back and forth, right? There's a couple of different emails that were sent, and specifically the emails that were sent from Epstein. And he said, when talking about the people, and I hate to put it like this, but the young women that he wanted to get to his island and how this actually worked, the one thing that he said is that he didn't want black girls on the island. I thought that was super interesting, all right? Not only in the sense of this guy being a horrible monster, right? A disgusting piece of shit, but even more so, doubling down on the racist, right? He not only said that he didn't want black girls, he said he didn't want N-words on his island, right? And man, I was just like, holy shit, racism again, right? And not just racism in the sense of like, you said, oh, I don't want to, I'm not interested in dating black people or any shit like that. This whole fucking monster who was actively harming so many people, even took a break from being like a gross piece of shit to stop back and say, hey, let me do a little bit of racism. Good morning. That's fucking wild. That's fucking wild. No, you haven't missed it yet. Not yet. Also, guys, while I'm going through this, if you don't mind, can we knock out the love you very much? That's the daily gift goal. Can we knock that out? Please, please, please. Also tap the screen. Let's get the likes up to like 15,000 likes. The second thing that I wanted to talk about is a new phenomenon that's going around the internets, the interwebs, where apparently Black people, you're going to get a kick out of this. White people, I want you to answer this in the comments. So Black people, I don't want you to, for all my skin folks, for the ones that know, don't say anything. But for my white friends that may or may not know, I would love to know what you think about this. But apparently it's going viral around the internet, and certain white people are saying they have finally discovered the meaning of the word unk, right? Because Black people, we've often used the word unk, right? That's not new. That's something that's a part of our lexicon, right? It's AAVE. But apparently white people now, they're saying, oh, we discovered what the word unk means. And they were like, holy shit, we just learned that unk means uncool, 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 uncool. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. So now white people are going around the internet spreading the misnomer that unk means uncool because that's what they think it means. Now that did, the person who put this video out did say like, hey, Black people, we need to start gatekeeping a little bit, which Black people, we don't really gatekeep, right? Black people are very inclusive. We will let you be a part of the culture. That's something super unique about like Black culture, in which it could be a detriment because it tends to be appropriated and stolen at times, but we are never one to say like, you cannot be of the culture if you are trying to engage in the culture. But that happens, right? That happens. There are certain things that are created, generated by Black people and Black culture, and then they take those things and they do whatever they do, right? Another word is woke, right? Come on, guys, we're a political live here. We know what the right means when they say woke, right? But the funny thing about that is woke has always been a Black thing, right? Well, Black people have always told, hey, stay woke, right? I mean, like, that was a good thing, making sure you stay woke. But now the right, oh, you're woke, the woke ideology. That's interesting. That's why now I tell my Black friends, I don't worry about telling them stay woke because they know what it is, but I always tell them, hey, stay dangerous.
You stepped in a box, now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here, you better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in shame. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Great stats will get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit.
Hey.
Step in if you dare. Truth hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script.
One wrong
move, get cooked real quick.
No
cap, no shield. Better know your stuff. You get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. I don't care what you claim on your background.
No.
Facts only, if not, get clapped down. Whether you're left or right,
or you don't even
vote. If your logic is weak,
I'll sink your boat. Hey.
You talk slick, but you ain't got source.
What?
Just vibes, that ain't power, that's force. I'm the test, the trap, the trip, the call. You slip once, I'm snatching it all.
Go.
Yeah. Step in if you dare. Get hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. Yeah.
One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No
cap,
no
shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna sparring with Santana. Step in if you dare. You get hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed.
Bert, you said, do Black Lives Matter? Come up here, I'll tell you about it, Bubba. I'm going to go ahead and mute you because I don't care what you're saying in the comments. Get up here. I'll tell you.
This is flame space.
Hey, cat. Howdy, partner.
Sparring with Santana.
Hey. I'm going to mute you until I finish this intro, guys. Did he run? Holy shit. Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana. One-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana. We are only looking for some debates, guys. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or you disagree with anything on the background. And I have figured it out. I have figured out how to fix our country. I know things are scary. I know things are horrible. Hell, I know even the people on the right are looking for a way ahead, and I got it. I got it right here. Boom. Fix it. Dismantle the patriarchy. Easy. We need to shift the way the society works within our country. Easy. We got to abolish ICE. I think that's an easy win. That's a quick dub. I don't see why anyone would push back on that one. That's an easy dub. Lock up the GOP. These people are terrorizing the people within our society in multiple ways. They're hurt, harming, and endangering Americans, and we need to lock them up. Secondly, eat the rich. Got to eat the rich. What up, Swam Reed? Got to eat the rich, and there's so much to that, right? Period. Last but not least, non-white reparations. And when I say non-white reparations, I'm very specific when I say non-white reparations. And I mean reparations for not only Black people, but indigenous people, hell, people, the brown people that are overwhelmingly being harmed by what's happening with ICE currently. So we're going to get into that. What up, Kim? We're going to get into all of that. So if you are a Trump supporter or you disagree with anything on the background, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. Again, if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 50,000 likes. Also, blue lives are important. Sure, I'm going to mute you, all right? Oh, I can't even request you come up. I don't know what the fuck is happening with like the bots this morning. Like the bots are actually botting. They are all over. They are all over. Hey, MAGA, Trump supporters and bots, just an FYI. I don't care what you're saying in the comments. I can't hear you when you comment. For some reason, when you put a comment in my chat and you're a Trump supporter, or you disagree and you put a comment in the chat, I can't see it. It somehow disappears. I think the easiest way to fix that is for you to get in the box. Thank you for the cake. My chat is not your safe space. I'm just going to be honest with you, right? My chat is not your safe space. My chat is not, typical nigger. Ooh, blazing. Yeah, I know you're such a coward because one, you have a profile picture. It's a fake profile picture. Secondly, I know. Did you listen? I know you are a weak, insignificant piece of shit, right? But listen, your clan ancestors would be so disappointed that you haven't done anything beyond saying quote unquote nigger, right? Hey, Blazing Jake, 2001. Why are you such a coward that you're here on a spam account? Why won't you come on your main account? Can you answer that question?
That'd be interesting.
Sure. Why won't you come on your main account? Because you're a coward, right? That's fine. You listen, I don't really do cowards. You're too much of a little, I'm not going to call you that word, but you're too much of a coward to be here on your main account. And so if you won't be here on your main account, there's no point in you being here. Legitimately. What up, Swan? If you're not willing to get up here and say it with your chest, I don't really care what you have to say. Honestly, I'll let you say whatever you want to say. You just got to be able to say it with your chest. Gifted hater, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
A Trump supporter.
Okay, perfect. And what, like, do you have an actual name that I can call you? I don't want to call you gifted hater. Is that okay?
I like gifted hater.
Okay, I'm gonna call you. You know what? I'm gonna call you George. I don't think I've called anyone George, so I'm gonna call you George. All right, George. Quick question for you. Before we go too far, do you know who I am?
I don't know. Kind of obscure figure you are.
Yeah. Listen, not gonna hold you. You're not off base. George, would you mind if I give not only just you, but everyone a quick introduction to who I am and what this is?
Yeah, go for it.
Perfect. One moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, and if you are someone that supports Donald Jimothy Trump or just disagree with anything on the background, get in the box. We are only looking for some debates, guys. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live. Let's get the likes up to 50,000 likes. Also, I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to these little 1-cent gift goals where we can knock those out a couple of times. It'll push us out to the FYP. Now, George, you are a Trump supporter. And listen, I think you and I can find some common ground because I've figured it all out. Right, George? I know for a fact that we can fix our country. Me and you can do it together, George, but the things we have to do, we got to lean into the things. We got to dismantle the patriarchy. We got to abolish ICE. We got to lock up the GOP. We got to eat the rich. And we need to give reparations to non-white people. So, George, I guess my question is, as a Trump supporter, is there any one of those points that you think like, that's a failing one? I'm pushing back on that. Any one of those points you have like a issue with?
Yeah, I don't think there's any common ground at all. Actually, I think the only way to go forward is to move past and continue upon what the government did to Pretty and Good and take care of some more until they're all done.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, I'm not going to hold you. I'm not against lining people up like against the wall, especially people like you. Right. But I'm not against that. I do think that like the people that actually started the violent insurrection on January the 6th and tried to overthrow the United States government, hell, at the very least, they should be under the jail cell. But when it comes to people like you, people who for some reason think that what happened to Renee Nicole Good or Alex Pretty is somehow a good thing, I'm not against like putting you against the wall. I will say this. I do think that in certain situations, it's called for. So I guess with that being said, which point on the background would you like to start at? We're not even talking about common ground. Let's dig into one of the points.
The difference between you and I and why there isn't any common ground is because you're imagining.
I didn't say shit about common ground. Listen, George, I know. You came up here and you wanted to do some weird shit and you wanted to lean into whatever the fuck you wanted to lean into. I don't give a fuck what you're saying. I want you to pick a point on the background. And I would like to talk about a point on the background. George, pick a point on the background and let's go from there.
We're in power. You're not. I don't have to imagine lining.
George, I don't give a fuck about what you're talking about right now. You're so weak. Can you pick a point on the background and we can get into it? Like, listen, you come up here on a fake profile with a fake picture. You have no followers.
Your people are dying.
I don't give a shit about that, George. Like, either you're gonna actually shit or get off the pot. Which one? Are you gonna pick a point?
Kill more libs.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Sure. George, are you going to pick a point or not? Like, I don't give a fuck which one you do. I just need you to do one.
I care about is dead libs. That's
Yeah, I know. You're such a fucking weak coward. Like, it's weird. You're like a weird, weak coward, because if you meant it, you wouldn't do this on a spam account. That's the interesting thing about all of this. If they weren't such weak cowards, they wouldn't do it on a spam account. Like that's what I'm talking about. Howdy, partner. If you actually meant any of the things that you were saying, you wouldn't be scared to say it with your chest. And the reason why they come up here on spam accounts is because they don't want to turn on the cameras. They don't want to turn on the cameras. They're too chicken shit to actually say it with their chest. The funny thing about all of that, though, is chat, you guys know me. You know me. I'll let you say whatever the fuck you want to say. You just got to turn on your camera. If you're gonna do it, you got to do it. I'm not gonna let you half-ass it. You got to whole-ass it. That's the only way you're gonna get an opportunity to do the thing. Beyond that, you're just an obscure figure on the internet spitting in the wind. That's the best you can do. I have no interest in that. I legitimately have no interest in that. And also, you think that we're supposed to be worried about someone who hides on a TikTok live? You think we're going to fear you in real life when you hide on the internet? How does that even work? We should be locking up the DNC and GOP. Yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that. Sure. Thank you for the bow. I'm not disagreeing with that. Come up here and tell me about it. I'm gonna mute you just to entice you to get up here. Come up here and tell me about it. I'm not pushing back on locking up the DNC. I think one thing that I will tell people is, just because I have lock up the GOP up here doesn't mean that the DNC is excluded. I'm talking about any and every politician that is overwhelmingly harm everyday Americans. Listen, I saw a video yesterday. Howdy, partner. I saw a video yesterday of Chuck Schumer, right? And Chuck Schumer was talking about, as the head of the Democratic Party for the Senate, as the Senate leader, he was talking about how he has overseen the most amount of funding for Israel and how he has helped get the most amount of aid for Israel. And I saw that video, and all I could think is, that shit right there, that should be disqualifying. That should be not only enough to get him primary, but get someone to elect him out of power. He was proud about that. And he said, I would continue to do every single thing possible to give Israel everything that they want and need. Anyone that is Democratic representation and they're saying those type of things, they got to go. They got to go. I don't care who they are. Someone said you ran from George. No, George. Yeah, no, George got blocked. I didn't run from George. George got blocked because George was a bitch. Oh, excuse me. I shouldn't have said that. Don't say the B word. I apologize. That slipped up. George was a coward. George was a coward. One thing I don't do is cowards. I'm sincerely sorry. I try to make sure I don't use that word at all, but like sometimes it pisses me off when weak men are weak. I legitimately did not mean to say that word. I'm really, really sorry. So, anywho, Liz, you say WTF. WTF what? What? WTF what, Liz? Are you clutching your pearls? Come up here and tell me about it. I'm gonna send you a request. Come up here and tell me about it. Are you clutching your pearls? Mm-hmm. What have blacks done for society? We've done a lot. We've done a lot. Jorge, George, whichever one you are, I don't care. I'm gonna mute you and I'm gonna send you a request. Come up here. I'll tell you about what quote unquote blacks have done for society. Creed, I don't know why you're in my request, but you can leave. There's absolutely no point of you being in my request. Boom. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We're only looking for some debate. Lil Drippy, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Santana, I love you.
I appreciate it, but please don't do that. Guys, I appreciate the love and support and your kindness, but we are only looking for some debates, and doing that absolutely slows up the live. So please, 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 only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. It looks like Liz is trying to load, but Liz hasn't loaded. Liz, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Liz, you said WTF. What was the WTF about?
Oh, you invited me up, but I'm not an op, so I wasn't sure why you invited me.
Oh, because you kept spamming WTF, and I was just wondering what that's why I didn't mute you. I just invited you up.
Because you were using language against women and then justifying that you called him a B word because he's weak.
No, what did I say?
And that
What did I say after I said it?
I'm surprised because it doesn't seem like your character.
Sure. What did I say after I said that?
I mean, I'm not here to I don't know why you invited me.
The question, yeah, I invited you because I know you were saying WTF after I said the B word, and because you kept spamming it. But what did I say after I said it?
Well, you apologized and then you doubled back down into calling him.
No, I didn't.
The B word because
no, I didn't. You're weak. Lying. You're lying, Liz. Why
That's what I thought you said. That's why I asked you in the comments.
No, you're lying. You're lying.
I asked you in the comments.
No, I want you to stay right here. We're going to listen to it because, yeah, I did say that. 1 second. Don't worry.
Ran.
Of course she did, Swan. Dang it, why is it doing this? All right. If you actually meant any of the things that you were saying, you wouldn't be scared to say it with your chest. And the reason why they come up here on spam accounts is because they don't want to turn on the cameras. They don't want to turn on the cameras. They're too chicken shit to actually say it with their chest. The funny thing about all of that, though, is Chad, you guys know me. You know me. I'll let you say whatever the fuck you want to say. You just got to turn on your camera. If you're gonna do it, you got to do it. I'm not going to let you half-ass it. You got to whole-ass it. That's the only way you're going to get an opportunity to do the thing. Beyond that, you're just an obscure figure on the internet spitting in the wind. That's the best you can do. I have no interest in that. I legitimately have no interest in that. And also, you think that we're supposed to be worried about someone who hides on a TikTok live? You think we're going to fear you in real life when you hide on the internet? How does that even work? We should be locking up the DNC and GOP. Yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that. Sure. Thank you for the bowl. I'm not disagreeing with that. Come up here and tell me about it. I'm gonna meet you just to entice you to get up here. Come up here and tell me about it. I'm not pushing back on locking up the DNC. I think one thing that I will tell people is just because I have lock up the GOP up here doesn't mean that the DNC is excluded. I'm talking about any and every politician. Okay, sorry, chat. I think I didn't even get to the right part. Give me a second. Swan, I'll give you the floor for a moment while I try to find the right part because I want to make sure I play the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what happens, especially when you have racist people coming up to your platform, calling you the N-word, although we continue on with our live streams, it places a weight on you. You know what I mean? Although we are used to it because it happens all the time, it doesn't change what happens, right? And I think that sometimes when we respond in ways to where it's like, okay, you're going to catch smoke right back, right? And I think that I don't think that there's going to be a perfect response to racism, but I think that any response to racism is justified. I understand why people are upset, but I think the apology not necessarily looking to erase any harm. And I see your comment, Leah, in the comment section. You said apologizing does not negate the harm. I don't think that he said y'all should take my apology, right, and not feel any type of way about it. I don't think that was said. I think there was an accountability that was taken for saying what was said. And that's what should happen, right? I also think that white women, y'all got to learn how to check your racism, right? Because I think it would be your responsibility to check those that are being racist, right? I also think that y'all have got to take into consideration the tone policing that you like to perpetuate in our spaces. And I am talking to Liz. I am also talking to Leah. I am not saying, right, that it's justifiable, but the accountability was taken, and that's what's important. But also people need to understand dealing with racism and having to deal with white people tone policing you is very frustrating. It takes a toll. It does. And I think, Liz, I saw your comment. You said, dude, I'm a donor. Don't disrespect me. You had an opportunity to have the discussion with Santana, but you ran. And if your donations are going to hinge on what makes you feel comfortable as a white woman and what makes you feel good, then it's probably not needed. I'll be all the way honest. That's some real white shit to do. Some real racist shit to do.
One thing I want to say before I play this is that and for anyone that's confused, that just scrolled in and wondered what's happening. So I had a troll come up who was just perpetuating harm and talking about, death and all this other stuff, right? And that multiple trolls in a row who hide behind fake profile pictures and blah, 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 blah. And I called them out for being cowards. And I used the word that, again, if you know me, I've said it multiple times in the past. I've said it towards men, but it's something that after being told like, hey, shouldn't say that word because it's harmful towards women, I was like, you know what? Got it. Won't do it. And so I try to ensure that I always keep that word out of my lexicon, but it slipped. And I immediately realized it and I apologize. Fuck it. I got it. Don't worry about it. I'm going to play this. And you ran from George. George got blocked. I didn't run from George. George got blocked because George was a bitch. Oh, excuse me. I shouldn't have said that. Don't say the B word. I apologize. That slipped up. George was a coward. George was a coward. One thing I don't do is cowards. I'm sincerely sorry. I try to make sure I don't use that word at all, but like sometimes it pisses me off when weak men are weak. I legitimately did not mean to say that word. I'm really, really sorry. So, anywho. So, that was me immediately addressing what I did. I fucked up in real time. I tried to address it in real time. I think that's super important. I think that's super important for people saying what word is the B word. It's the B word. Men shouldn't be saying the B word because it's harmful towards women. And like I said, it's something that I try to ensure that I don't say at all. But then Liz, oh, there's Liz. Thank you for coming back, Liz. Liz was WTF me in the comments the entire time. And so I invited Liz up because I knew that was the case. And so I said, hey, Liz, what's the issue? And she said, oh, I can't believe you're using that word. Doesn't seem like you, da, 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 da. And I said, well, Liz, what did I say? And he's like, well, you said the word. And I said, well, yeah, well, Liz, what did I say afterwards? You said it, and then you went back to justifying and using it and everything. But Liz, we just listened back to it. What did I say right after I realized that I had said it?
Oh, I'm happy to answer your question. So first of all, I'm not white.
I don't care about that, Liz. I would love for you
Santana,
to actually.
I think
Liz,
your assumption is kind of weird.
Liz, I don't care about that. I would like for you to address what I just said directly, please, and thank you.
Oh, I already did earlier. So you apologized, and then you apologized, and then you equated the B word with being a coward and weak.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's all you have to say, Liz?
I answered your question. I'm not sure. Do you have another question?
Your race, Liz.
I'm brown.
Brown is not a race. Brown is not a race. What's your race, Liz? Unbelievable.
I'm willing to bet that she's olive.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to her before.
Like an off-white. Brown is not a race, Liz. What is your race?
Are you asking me what my country of origin is?
No, that would be nationality, Buki. I'm asking you what your race is. Brown is not a race.
She's going to look it up. The one thing that I want to drive home, and this is for everyone watching, because I do take accountability absolutely for what I said. I mean, again, saying the B word, that's something that I try to ensure that I remove from my lexicon, just like saying DUMB or SLOW or any type of term that can be deemed as harmful towards any other community. Like, that's not something I want to engage in, but at the same time, I'm not perfect. And I do fuck up. And when I fuck up, I admit that I fuck up, like I did right there in real time. That's nothing that I ever want to engage in. And even more so, I don't want anyone to think that it's okay, because it's not. But the one thing that I will not do, and the one thing that I think that I have a problem with, and it's really something that's been eating at me a lot lately, and it's a conversation that I've had off this app. And it's a conversation that I think it's really important that we do have as a whole, is in certain ways, it's interesting to me how certain people think that they can not only tone police, but also the accountability that they have for Black people or Black creators, and then the lack of accountability for others. Super weird, super weird. It seems like there's this ultimate desire to hold Black people to a certain standard while giving a pass for, their favorite white creators or whatever else. And I don't understand that. And maybe it's just the fact that it's been bothering me so much lately that, like, it's coming out right now. But I'm over the shit. All right. Yes, I fucked up in real time just now, and I apologize in real time. But whatever this is right now, like, it's weird. And Liz, I would love for you to either, like, go ahead and finish that conversation with Swan and Kim, or we can move on. But the one thing that I would like to call out really quickly before you do whatever is, while I appreciate your support, I do. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you tapping. I appreciate you, donating. But
yeah, I've donated extensively.
That's fine. The one thing that I want you to understand is your donation does not give you any type of, one, moral authority, or two, credence to dictate anything that occurs on this platform. So again, when I sit here and say, still speaking. So when I say anything is accepted, everything is appreciated, I absolutely mean that. But that does not give anyone any type of credence to do anything. That's why when people try to send donations and say, hey, can I come up? No, like, you don't have to send money to come up. You don't have to send money to, get me to do anything or that or whatever. Like, you supporting me or the live does not force me into one way or the other, because one thing that I pride myself on is the integrity of the live. And so if you think that you donating will actually shape the live in one way or the other, that your donation is not hinged on shaping the live, and also your support, while it is appreciated, it is not required. So if you feel like you have to donate, never do that, ever, ever, ever. But if you also think that by donating, you actually have some type of moral authority or you can dictate how things happen, don't do that either, because that's not true. Anyway, I would love for you to go ahead and finish talking to Swan and Kim.
Yeah, Liz, what's your race?
Again, I've already answered.
Brown is not a race, though, Liz. Brown is not a race.
I understand.
Yeah, so it's not a racial category. I didn't ask you for your country of origin because that would be nationality, not race. I'm asking you what your race is. Liz, come back.
If you don't know what it is, you don't have to keep teacupping and trying to figure it out. We can help you out with that question, Liz.
Liz, come back to the screen. See, I think this is like the disingenuous part.
Okay, well, my family identifies as brown.
Okay,
so what should I identify as then?
Liz, that's not a race, though.
I can't, you invited me up here. I was hoping to have productive conversation. You call me a troll. You call me misidentify my race.
No one called you a troll, and you are misidentifying.
Am I not allowed to speak without being interrupted?
No, because you're Liz. I'm trying to get, we're really trying to focus this conversation right now. You're being. I don't know. I don't know if you feel like you're being attacked. I promise you, no one's attacking you. We're trying to have.
Well, you called me a troll and a white woman.
I called.
I said I dealt with two trolls back to back. I never called you a troll, Liz. Liz, either you're willfully being dishonest or you are so in your feelings at the moment that you can't hear things that are being said. Because even when I said, hey, what did I say after I said the B word? You couldn't tell me what I said because, again, either you were willfully being dishonest or you were so in your feelings that you can't hear it. I need you to just stow your feelings just for half a second and actually engage with the conversation that's in front of you. Literally, Swan and Kim are here to have a genuine conversation. I'm willing to have this conversation in any way, shape, or form. If you don't know your race, that's fine. We can help you figure this out. But when we tell you that brown is not a racial classification, it's not. So just because you call yourself brown does not mean that you are quote unquote brown. That's not a race. Please just stop, stow your feelings for a second, and please engage with Swan.
Yeah. What is your race, Liz?
Well, I already answered. I answered so many times and I asked you, what do you want me to say?
Do you know what the 5 racial categories are?
I can go look them up. My family identifies as brown.
The whole time.
I'll tell you. Your family cannot identify as brown because there is no racial category for brown. That's not a thing.
Then my entire family is wrong in your opinion.
So hold on. No one's saying that your entire family is wrong, Liz. What we're saying
is it not wrong to say that I'm brown?
Liz. Yes, it's wrong to say that you're brown because
then my entire family is wrong in your opinion.
Wow.
Yes, Liz, your whole family is wrong. Stop saying it. That's not one of the 5 racial categories that are classified within the United States of America. Yes, you're wrong. You're not brown. So stop saying it and please just let Swan speak.
Yeah, this is really wild. She is looking for a fight at this point. So Liz, I feel attacked. I'm not going to lie. I feel attacked by you. I'm just simply asking you what your race is because the behavior right now, whether you be white or not, is extremely anti-Black. I think when you were offered the opportunity to have the discussion and you ran, then you threw in Santana's face that you donate all the time. And then even you coming back up here and me asking you what your race is and you can't give us a straight answer as to what your race is, regardless of whatever your race is. If you're white, then yes, it's racist behavior. If you're not white, then it is anti-Black behavior. We know for a fact that you aren't Black. The 5 racial categories that we use here in the United States are white, Black, Asian, Indigenous, and Pacific Islander, right? I think that the problem here is that you're not looking for a solution. I feel as though everyone up here has been genuine with you, but you just keep on constantly hitting us back with attacks. And yes, I'm going to say you're attacking right now. I think to condemn anybody who has a response to racism, especially when you're not experiencing the things that Black people experience and you never know, you trying to come up here and tone police the response is extremely harmful. Santana didn't even have to be policed in terms of him using the B word because he apologized and took accountability. I know for me in my space, I deal with misogynoir, something that only Black women experience. Only Black women and Black femme presenting people experience. I deal with it every single day. We're dealing with it right now. I'm dealing with it right now, coming from you and the other white women in the chat that are calling me girl, that are saying, oh, I just came up here to cape.
Thank you.
That's not the case. That's not the case at all. What I'm simply doing is saying and acknowledging what actually happened, right? And then also you do need to understand that it's not your right to don't police any Black person. No matter what your race is, if you are not a Black person, you don't get to do that to Black people. And I think that the disingenuous part is you trying to hide the fact that you don't want to say what your race is. And I'm sure we actually know what it is. But I think the reality is that here in this conversation, you're not looking for a solution. You don't want a resolution. You just want to continue to throw a temper tantrum. And that's unfortunate. And now you've taken up most of the time that Santana's been here and been live. And again, you don't get to tell Black people how to respond to racism. You don't. I know I have fucked up before, and I said an ableist term, and I apologize for that. I did. And then I didn't do it again. It's simple. Liz, would you like to respond? Are you looking for a resolution, or you just want to continue the argument?
I would like to figure out what race I am then. I mean, that's what the original thing that you wanted to do.
Liz, when I was trying
Don't worry about it. Turn on your camera.
Liz.
I just sent you a request to turn on your camera, Liz. We can help you right now. Just turn on your camera for 2 seconds.
You can show your arm. You don't have to really show your face. But I did try to help you with that, and you kept talking over me. I need you to know that you've got to take accountability for your actions in this conversation. I attempted to have that discussion with you, and you kept talking over me.
Yeah. Liz, if you don't want to show your face, you can put your hand in the screen or whatever. Like, we can help you figure it out. Super simple. You have camera access. Turn on your camera.
Oh, to see my skin color?
Yeah. I mean, at least we can get going in the right direction.
Skin color's not enough.
That's not race.
I know. I said we can get going in the right direction.
So wait, Liz. So this is the
why do you need to see my skin color?
Hold on. Wait. Real quick.
Oh my
Sorry. Hold
fucking
on.
God.
Real quick. Liz. So we're trying to come to like a middle ground with you and trying to level with you, right? But you don't want that. Why not just drop off the panel and never come back again, right? Because
I don't even want her to do that, Swan. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I understand that I'm not wanted.
What I know for a fact right now is her not wanting to turn on the camera. It's not because we're sitting here saying racist skin tone. We know race isn't skin tone, but we know for a fact that you're sitting here playing in our face. Liz, you're fucking playing in our face, and that's the point we're at right now. So that's why I'm saying turn on your camera. You can put your hand on the screen, and we can start there. If you don't know what your race is, sure, let us help you. But you're being disingenuous, and also I'm willing to bet that you're fucking lying. So I'm like, I don't even know what we're doing anymore. I'm so.
How old is Liz? How old are you, Liz?
All right, my camera's on. And what do you
have your camera covered?
Yeah, you said I just need to turn my camera on. First, you said you needed to see my face, and then you said
I said if you don't want to show your face, if you don't want to show your face, just can we start? Just put your hand in the screen. Just let's start there.
To see my skin color is what you said before.
Sure, that's fine. Just start with your hand in the screen.
How does that have? What does that have to do with my race?
I said to start. To start.
I understand, and that's what. Well, how does
Liz,
that?
You know why I said that?
It's not race.
Everyone on this panel knows that skin color is not race. You are the one that apparently don't know what your race is because you keep saying I'm brown and my entire family identifies as brown. Like you're saying that we know what race is. Apparently you don't, but you're sitting here playing in our face. And the reason why I'm willing to bet that you won't even put your hand on the camera is because you're a whole ass white woman and you're sitting here pretending like you're not. You heard Swan call you a white woman, and then you said, oh, I'm not a white woman. And now you know for a fact that if you even put your hand on the screen, we will be able to go from that point and just say, oh, boom, right there, right? But no, we understand that race is way more than that. And all you have to do, you can look at the camera. Sure, we can go from there. But if you want to just have a starting point, just put your hand on the screen.
Nah, I'll pass. Thank you.
Exactly,
Can I-
because you're a
can I-
fucking liar.
Wait.
Can I put something-
Well,
Can I-
here's the thing is that you've called me a troll. You've called
Hold on,
I don't
Hold
care. I never
Liz.
called you a troll.
Wait a minute.
Solid,
Can I
Solid
just-
wanted to say something. Sorry. I
I
saw
just-
he had his hand up in the chat.
You may not be a white woman, but you are great at white womaning. To police a black man's reaction in the face of a fascist doing fascism to cause harm to everybody in the room, talking about unaliving and moving further toward fascism, to expect the exact response that you would have been comfortable with out of a black man is the most Carolyn Bryant shit I've ever seen in my life.
I'm sorry about that. I really
I don't
like.
need a response.
I'm gonna do some introspection.
Stop cutting
about
people
that.
off. He's
Solid.
still
I appreciate
speaking.
that.
He's still speaking. Stop.
How do you follow me and not know that brown is not a race?
Well, my family identifies as brown.
But like, hold on. So the problem that I have with this is, yeah, even you said, oh, I've donated to you. Like the one thing that I noticed.
That was a mistake.
before
I'm sorry I said that.
That's fine. I don't care. The one thing that I noticed is that when I like looked at your name, you had the badge for my like people that are always in my space, but then you also had fan by your name, right? Fan, which means that you spend a lot of time in this space. And if you spend a lot of time in this space, I know for a fact that I am not always talking about like what race is and blah, 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 blah. But I know for a fact that I've talked about it enough. And even more, I've had these people up here enough and they've more than chimed in on it. And then for you to have that fan badge beside your name when it comes to my live, and then you follow, either one of them, like there's no way in hell you don't know what race is. So again, it's at the point where you're just playing in our face. Like, I don't understand what point you're trying to get to after this. Like,
I'm not trying to.
Than that. And I have to say this, Liz, you literally helped out. You participated in fascism.
Yeah, I understand. I see what you mean.
Don't need a response. We are in the throes of fascism right now. This is not what solidarity means. It is time to fight fascism. When you are busy critiquing the people who are reacting to being harmed, you are advocating for fascism. I got to go back to work. Swan and Kim got it. Thank you for having me up, but I needed to get that out there. It's time to fight.
Thank you, Solid.
Take care, bro. W. Cadre.
Very solid. I
want to say something.
I just want to ask something, Liz, because since you don't understand what your race is, what's your ethnicity?
I'm Middle Eastern.
So in the United States, you would be classified as white. That's why you didn't want to say that you were white, because of the fact that you don't want to be classified as white. We understand that it's hard for people in the Middle East to be classified as white in the United States because of the fact that you wouldn't really be white in your own country. But if you're talking about the United States and we are actively in the United States and someone asks you what your race is, you know factually that you are listed as white. Why would you sit up here and play in Santana face? Like, I was sitting here itching because I'm like, ain't no way that she's sitting here saying this. It has to be something. And I knew it had to be something like that. You don't want to be classified as race, but that is literally what you are. You're classified as white, but we know when we're speaking about whiteness, you are not the same as those when we speak about white people here in the United States, but you are classified as white. And why are you classified as that? Do you know why?
Oh, sorry. I thought that was rhetorical. My family says that they're brown, but I understand like when it was in, so the Supreme Court changed their classifications of race.
Correct. Why?
And there used to be brown. And so we still identify as
why did they
brown.
change it?
I can look it up for you.
No, I know why. I was asking if you knew why.
Oh, quiz.
It was because of citizenship. That's really why.
Well, there was some like racism and stuff, whatever, but.
Right. But it was because of citizenship, because they would not let you get citizenship. So that's why they classified you as white. And nobody is trying to knock you and not wanting to be classified as that. I think people need to understand that. We understand why you don't want to be classified as that. But when somebody is asking you, you have to be honest.
I'm gonna say this. Like, so not only is she like enabling fascism, but it's also straight up enabling racism. And then to assign aggression to people that wanted to get to a resolution with you. You lied about what your racial category was. You may not look like you're a European person, but people who are from North Africa and the Middle East do still phenotypically present as white. And I think it is absolutely disgusting that you came up here and that you behave this way towards everybody, saying and accusing people of harming you when no one did anything harmful to you. You have been the one that is harmful. You've been racist and you enabled fascism. And I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted by people like you. There is no resolution here with people like you. There is no resolution with people like you. You are dangerous. You are harmful. 100%. I'm being attacked. Santana's being attacked. Kim is being attacked. Every Black person in this chat is being attacked by you.
I just want to say, I don't know if you know, it was one of the reasons I came up here because it was pissing me off, was that when Santana was trying to address you, Swan came up here and she said what she had to say. And she said, people started calling her girl. Okay. That's offensive for Black women and Black men to be called girl or boy. I don't know if you know that. Then you had racists in the comments speaking about Swan and Santana. And it was pissing me off because people are sitting in the comments coming at them because you got in your feelings about a word that he literally apologized for right after saying it. And I think you don't understand the harm that you created doing all this. It was pissing me off in there. Y'all, people sitting there disrespecting Santana on his own platform. Like, I don't get that. People are sitting there disrespecting him on his platform and disrespecting Swan because she was trying to have a conversation with you and they didn't like what she said. Santana took his accountability. Y'all don't like the way that he took his accountability? I'm sorry. Find a corner, cry in it. He did what he had to do. He immediately apologized for it. Immediately. He is not going to hold your hand and hold a tissue and apologize to you. He doesn't have to. He did what he was supposed to do. Immediately recognized the issue and apologized for it. That's it. This should never have gone this long. Never have. You allowed it to go this long. You allowed harm to continue on this platform and to throw money in his face. I'm sorry, that right there. That's some bullshit right there.
No, I agree. That was bad.
I just want to say to her, I just want to say this, Liz, like as someone who spends time in my space, and obviously you spend time in other people's space that I enjoy having platform here. One, I still welcome you, right? Even more so because I feel like there's an opportunity to get to a better place. No one's perfect, and I'm not even saying like what's going on or what's happening right now. It's on you. It's on me. Again, taking accountability starts with me. And if I wouldn't have had the slip up of saying the B word, then that would not have caused what we're dealing with right now. I want to go back and be very clear. Like I said, when it happened, and I'll double and triple down on it again. It's something that I try to make sure that I don't engage in because I understand how saying the B word is harmful, right? And that's why I continuously, every day I talk about the fact that I am a misogynist and not because I'm actively participating in misogyny. It's because I'm inherently a misogynist and it's something that I have to check. I have to check my privilege on a daily basis. And that's not just my actions, but that's also my words. And sometimes I fuck up. And when I fuck up, I try to ensure that I'm, taking accountability, apologizing and removing any type of harm. And so that's why, if you go back to like a year ago, any opposition, any man opposition, I was, just calling them the B word just to make them crash out. I would never call a woman that, but I was calling men that. And then I learned, I was told how harmful this was. And I was told like, hey, you shouldn't be doing this no matter if it's men or women. And I realized that and I stopped. And it's something that I prided myself on, not only doing not on live, but in my personal life, not even using that word in my personal life. So I take full responsibility and accountability for the way that you reacted based off of my words. The one thing that I do want to call out, though, is the proceedings that continue to happen after that, right? I'm going to call it what it is, the gaslighting, right? The gaslighting as far as even being able to have the conversation, to engage with Swan, Kim, Solid, whatever the case may be, like that's super harmful, and especially if you're going to say that you are someone that wants to be on the right side of history and we want to figure out things together, then like I think having this this immediate like response and unwillingness to try to find a way forward together, like that's super harmful. I guess just to bring it all back to what I said, and Liz, I'm going to be super honest. You just so happen to catch a stray in this situation, right? Where, yes, you were up here and it happened to be a thing, right? That we continue to talk to you about. But when I tell you, it's something that I try not to talk about online. But the amount of pressure and the amount of quote unquote accountability that is called for when it comes to Black creators versus non-Black creators, and hell, to be more specific, white creators, the discrepancy is it's insane. And I have such a huge problem. I just had this conversation. I hate that certain white creators can, I'll be specific, hell, what's going on in Minnesota? There's certain white creators that can go to Minnesota, show up, hang out for a little while, do this or that, and then leave. And then, they get pats on the back. But then they're looking at Black creators and they're saying like, hey, why aren't you guys out there? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? And understanding that we don't have the same privileges nor protections as our white counterparts. And then, so now it's a problem that we're not willing to it's a problem that I'm not willing to go and stand on the front line in Minnesota when they're literally shooting white people in the face. You think they give a fuck about me? If they're out here shooting white women in the face, you think they give a fuck about shooting me? And you think, and so people are upset that I'm not out there when I don't even have the slightest bit of protection, and they don't even give a shit about the protection anymore. So I say all that to say, like, I think there's a whole lot of reflecting that a lot of people need to do. And when it comes to, I didn't say the term, but Solid called it out. And it seems to be interesting that it keeps happening with certain people on the left, but there's a whole lot of white womaning, and I don't understand that shit. I don't understand that shit when it comes to the imbalance that there is with accountability for Black people versus white people. And I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I told like someone super important to me who, like, I'm not going to call their name, but I told them a while ago, and I truly mean this. At this point, I just don't give a fuck what people think about me. Like, I'm going to try to do the right things. I'm going to try to say the right things. I'm going to try to be the right type of person and make sure that I'm not doing anything harmful and correcting myself whenever I can. But like, I'm just at the point where I can't give a fuck anymore, because every single thing is going to be like, oh, Santana this, Santana that. So anyway, Swan, Kim, anything from either one of you?
I want to hear an apology.
Yeah,
no. I mean, no apology for me. I mean, you should definitely apologize to Swan or Kim, but I don't deserve an apology or need one.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, there was blatant lying and blatant harm, and definitely attacks towards me from Liz. I don't really want an apology from you. I think that you're just going to end up being disingenuous regardless. But I do want to recount what you did that was harmful. And I'm going to recount what you did that was harmful. I'm going to take the time to do that real quick. You came up here, right? You had the opportunity to have a discussion. You ran. Then you, in the comments section, said, dude, I donate money to you. What are you talking about? Or whatever it was, the little hissy fit that you threw in the comment section. I came back up here. He rewound the tape. He proved to you that he was telling the truth. He took accountability. Then I came up here and I said something about you being white. And then when you came up here, you said, I'm not a white woman, right? So then I asked you what your race was. You said that your race was brown. I said, that's not a race. You said, oh, you're telling me my whole entire family is wrong? No, I'm telling you that brown is not a race because it's literally not a race. It's not in the US Census, right? So then we go through this whole debacle of catering to your emotions, right? So we can continue to have a discussion and then get to a resolution with someone that clearly didn't want a resolution, someone that just wanted to continue to act like a toddler and throw a temper tantrum, right? And turn the camera on, but didn't want to show anything. And then got clocked because you are white. You are white, and you were being racist, and you did enable fascism, and you enabled racism, and you perpetuated racism. And I think it's absolutely disgusting. I did nothing wrong to you. Came up here to have a conversation because we have conversations like this all the time. And conversations like this can lead to progression. It can lead to class consciousness. It can lead to solidarity. It can lead to coalitions because that's what we need in society right now. But when we have people like you getting in the way, we're not going to get there. Sure, your family is from the Middle East, but you are still classified as white. You still have a level of privilege that I do not, and you are harmful. You are dangerous. I don't want an apology from you. That's all I got to say. I just want to make sure everybody, 1.7K people, heard what you did, saw what you did, and made sure we recounted what you did. Because Black women, block her. She's not for any level of womanhood, any bit of feminism. She came up here trying to clock a man because he said something that was misogynistic and he took accountability, but you're not going to consider your harmful actions perpetuated to a Black woman, would you? No. I'm done.
I just want to say really quick before Kim says anything, because I see a lot of people in the comments saying kick fun or permaban and all this other stuff. That one, Liz isn't like an op, right? Liz isn't up here because they disagree with something on the background or whatever the case may be. That's not the situation. So there's no kick fund needed. There's no permaban needed. And I'm not going to push back on what Swan said as far as Black women blocking her or whatever. I'm not going to tell anyone what to do. The one thing that I will say is that I'm not going to ostracize Liz from our community. While I do think that she engaged in multiple levels of harm, and I disagree as far as what happened overall. I think that there's an opportunity to be better because no one's perfect and everyone fucks up. And I don't believe in just saying you fuck up once and you're completely gone. So for the chat, I just want to be very clear to everyone that's watching right now, everyone that's listening. No, I am not going to ostracize Liz because of this interaction. I'm really actually hoping that something positive comes out of this interaction for Liz or for someone else that's listening. So I just want to be very clear about that before I went any further, because I see a lot of people saying that. Kim, anything from you?
I mean, Swan mostly said it all. I'm not worried about it. She didn't cause harm to me. She caused harm to the platform. That was my whole issue, to you and to Swan or whatever like that. And I still don't think that she realizes what she did. And between the messages that I saw, whatever. I hope that you take what was said here to heart. I think you need to sit with that a little bit. And I think you need to sit and realize we understand about people not wanting to be labeled as white, right? We get that. But you knew that you were white. You played in our face to try to act like that you weren't white, as though that was going to change the harm that you caused here. I don't think you understood that. Regardless of what it was, you still would have caused harm, even if you weren't white. You still caused harm. But the fact that you tried to be so insistent on not saying exactly what you were, that doesn't make any sense to me. And for you to be in platforms like Santana and Solid and to play around like that when it comes to race, how can you sit here and say that you are for the betterment of other people when you're playing like that in people's face about what your race is? That makes no sense. That means that you take anything that Santana says or anything that Solid says, and it goes in one ear and out the other. That doesn't make no sense. How do you listen to their platforms and then you come up here, I'm brown. Make that make sense. I don't understand that. It makes no sense to me. I think you need to sit down, think about, what you did here. I don't know what else, but you definitely need to check that racism within you, because that was crazy. I'm still mad that you threw money in Santana's face. That's some low level shit right there.
That's wild work.
That's some low level shit to throw
like
money in anyone's face.
Type of thing. Yeah, that was wild.
Liz, thank you for coming up. Thank you for sharing your opinion. I do think that there's opportunity to grow from this point, and hopefully you and I can grow together. I know that I fucked up, and hopefully you realize that you fucked up as well, and hopefully we can find a way to grow together, and this won't be like the end of our overall interaction, or your time in our space, or your time in like Swana Solid Space or whoever else. So I'll just leave it at that. The one thing that I will land my plane on is just be genuine. Like I feel like you kind of took us down a path that we didn't need to go, because you were unwilling to actually be genuine in multiple ways. And I think that we could have had a different course of action in getting to where we needed to be. I would say just be genuine and continue to hold on to your values, because your values overall aren't wrong. I would just make sure you understand how your values are aligning and when they're being misappropriated. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and drop you. Swan, Kim.
Everyone that gifted her too. I saw you too.
We know what they're about, Kim.
Yeah, I know.
That didn't shock me.
Y'all show yourselves every day. Y'all show yourselves every day.
Mm-hmm. Are you all right, Santana?
I'm good. I just and it's something that I haven't talked about, and I've tried my damnedest not to talk about it. And it's something that I've been talking about a lot personally with a lot of people. And it's so fucking weird the way that like people hold like Black people accountable, but everyone else, it's not the same. It's not the same. It's so fucking weird, and it bothers me. So
it's really frustrating too, especially during times like this. Like I was on another panel yesterday, and we're talking to people that they're in support of what's happening and everything like that. And I keep thinking to myself, how is it that people are not seeing like the actual harm? And how is it that they're so disconnected and so desensitized that like what I'm saying, if I'm saying that there's harmful actions coming from this group or this system, right? There's harm happening here and harm happening there, and we've got to stop the harm, that they've become so desensitized to the harm that it's almost as if they enjoy the harm happening to anybody that has a different belief system or, something along those lines, when we literally talk about improving society, right? Wanting to see progression, like real, genuine progression in society, especially for those that are marginalized. It's just frustrating when you have people that want to come around and interrupt that and, disrupt that. It is really, really frustrating. And yeah, the weight of being a content creator and like I'm sure you get hate mail, Santana. I've gotten some disgusting messages, and I block them, you know what I mean? But it does weigh on you. It does weigh on you at times.
Well, and so it doesn't bother me when it comes from people on the right. Like I expect that from people on the right, but when it comes to like certain people and the way that they interact with us, and it comes from people on the left who claim that they want to stand on the right side of history, it really reminds me that, like, honestly, a lot of these people that call themselves quote unquote Democrats or liberals or whatever, like they don't want progression for non-white people. They just want comfort for themselves. And so like they don't, it's not that like, oh, they're sitting here saying, we want to fight fascism. They just want their own form of fascism. Like, and that's the thing that bothers me. That's literally the thing that bothers me. It's not about actually trying to get to a point where it's better for everyone. For certain people that claim to be on the left, they just don't like what's happening on the right because they don't control the narrative. And if they could control the narrative and it just benefits them and not actually fix shit, then they would be willing to do that. And that bothers me.
I think a lot of them understand that. A lot of them just be like, no, I'm trying to do for everyone. It's like, no, y'all have shown consistently that y'all only care about your comfort, not ours. That's why I say, like, a whole lot times, me and Swan says all the time, you know, when we speak about like white women, if you want to say, or whatever, you always hear white women talk about, I'm here for black women, blah, 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 blah. I side eye the hell out of it. Why? Because they have shown many times that they will be in our face and poke us in the back the next minute. So it's like, you can't be here for me if you're not here for everyone. Because black people have always fought for themselves, but have always fought for everyone else. When I go out there and vote, I don't just vote for myself. I vote for what's going to happen to everyone. You know, I'm not part of the LGBTQIA plus community, but I damn sure am going to vote and fight for them to make sure that they have rights and they have, you know, the same opportunity to have a happy life, be who they want to. It doesn't affect me personally, but it affects society in which I am in. And people do not seem to understand that, especially when it comes to the black community. We are always othered. Everything that we do is other. You have people out there cussing, like you said, Santana, people like, why are you not out there? Why are you not fighting? Why? Many of us said we were sitting back because we have been out there. We have put our bodies out there and people did not care. People have been unalived that look like us and nobody said nothing. 2 white people were unalived. Now everyone's mad. Why were you not mad when people that look like us, black and brown people, why were you not mad then? Why were you not running out then? We think it's harmful for anybody to be unalive. But when it comes to our bodies, it's like, oh, it's just another one. But if it's white, hell no. We must be out there. We must be fighting. We must be doing this. We must be doing that. And that is the problem. It is glaring in our face all the time. You have to protect your platform because it takes nothing for you to get your platform taken. And that's for many black creators, huge black creators that take on these different topics. Y'all are the first ones that will get taken down before someone else. I've seen panels where they've used the N-word and every other word going out, the racist and everything like that, and their platforms will still stay up. You say one thing wrong and they will take your platform from you.
Yeah. I don't know. The one thing I'll say is I'm going to keep doing what we do here, and I appreciate both of you. I appreciate Solid. I appreciate anyone that comes up and tries to spread information and education, especially people like you two who are smarter than me. Like, I appreciate the people that are smarter than me, that are more capable of delivering the message that I tend to not be able to get across. And so I cherish all of you, just like the guy that just popped up on the panel, Smitty. What up, Smitty?
Good morning, man. I came in midway through what happened, and I just want to tell you, man, take time for yourself. It's really important. I was feeling everything you were saying in regards to what you have to go through, and in regards to what we have to go through as Black content creators. It is very difficult, and the disparities are very clear, and not just even with what we have to go through as content creators, just overall, there have been so many people that are like, oh my gosh, 2 people have been unalived by ICE. What do you mean 2 people?
Yeah,
it's way more than, right?
Exactly.
Right. It's way more than 2 people. But our bodies, as Kim said, right, tend to be forgotten. And that weighs on you in so many different perspectives. And let me just say this real quick to the couple of folks in the comments that didn't like what Kim and Swan were saying and that were upset at them. You're upset at the wrong people. Right? We have a right to be outraged. If you want to be upset at somebody, be upset at the folks that stood up this system that marginalizes us, and be upset at the people that continue to perpetuate the harm that marginalize us. Don't be upset at them. We have a right to react, right? Don't be upset at the response more so than the system. We have every right to protect ourselves and to protect our brothers and sisters that are up here. And that's why I requested, man. So please, please, please reach out, man. You know how to get a hold of me. Yeah. I want to say that, and Kim and Swan, you guys are my heroes. I love both of y'all.
Love you, Smitty.
Yes, we appreciate you so much. It's always good to see you.
All right, guys, I'm going to see if we can actually get some debates, because this is definitely not the way that I wanted to start the live. And this has been over an hour now. And you know what? Hopefully it serves some type of purpose. But I appreciate all three of you.
Can I say one more thing, Santana?
You know you can. You got it.
Okay, so I don't know who was here for Santana's birthday, but I was also sobbing that day. But your community was able to participate in providing for a mother and their infant in the Congo, and then also helping to pay the rent for the year for 32 children. I always get like a little emotional.
Wait, what?
32 children that were rescued from a displacement camp 2 years. Now we're coming up on the second year, right? And last year we found them housing. We paid the rent out for a year, and they've been worried because they're coming up on that year mark, right? So that, in addition to the other contributions that I've gotten in my space, was able to help with providing the care package, and then also with paying for the rent for a year. There are 32 children living in this house. They don't have their parents. Their parents have either unalived or they've lost them. All these children know is trauma. They don't know television. They don't know birthday parties. They don't know food. They don't know water. They don't know medicine. They don't even know a bed, right? And I just want to thank you for what your community did. In less than 30 minutes, y'all were able to make sure that these 32 children will continue to be cared for and will continue to be housed. And you also assisted starting a young mother and her new infant off with having the things that they are going to need initially. And I've been waiting to come up here and say this, but Santana, thank you so, so much. And for the community here, for everybody involved, we appreciate y'all. And I always tell people all the time, anybody that contributes to what we're doing, you're literally saving lives. You are saving lives. And I appreciate y'all for that. I do.
I'll say this, you don't have to thank me, because it's you, it's your effort. You're the catalyst, but it's also the community. I mean, I don't take anything for granted as far as the actual platform that these people give me. And so I always want to make sure I'm being a good steward of the time, energy, effort, and money that they actually provide. And so that makes me extremely happy. And Swan, I've said this over and over and over. I mean, if there's ever any type of effort or anything that you need help with or champion, we're always willing to help up. So step up. So that's fucking awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate all three of you.
You're welcome.
Absolutely, bro.
Go on. Also, chat, I know I posted for anyone that's in the Discord and they've seen this, I posted the receipts from the stuff that we did for Athena and what we donated for Darfur. I still have to post the stuff for Swan. I have that. I'll get that posted after the live today. As you guys know how I feel about transparency, I think it's super big and important to deal with transparency whenever we're talking about collecting money. I don't want anyone to think that any of the funds that they've allocated has been misappropriated in any way. So I'll make sure to get those receipts posted for Swan today as well. All right, let's see if we can actually get to some debates, because it's been a whole thing. So if you are in the request, please make sure that you are a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're in the request, Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background, we're only looking for some debates. Let's start with this person, because this person was in the comments and, whatever. BP, let's see.
BGB, you just call me BG.
BG, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Absolutely, I'm a Trump supporter. I believe about the situation with ICE that it's a war against racism. It's not because of immigration, because there was no protesting when Obama was president. Mm-hmm. So I would argue that these people are starting, trouble. Basically, they're troublemakers, what I see. And you come to a protest, to start problems because you hate white people. There's going to be that what happened with that man and that woman is going to continue to happen. So hopefully they learn their lesson and they don't come to a protest armed.
Okay,
because
perfect.
These people are violent and they're hateful.
One second. Okay, BG, give me 2 seconds because I want to get into it and I want to go back and forth. I don't want to just do a soapbox, but let me just say a couple of quick thank yous. I'm not going to read all of them because there's a lot that I don't want to get too far behind, and then you and I can get into the whole premise as far as why you think that not whatever with ICE is racism. 1 second. W's in the chat for Russ Belt for the $5 super chat to say new book. Everything I Don't Like Is Woke, an overly emotional, immature, broke flakes guide to internet political discourse. God damn, Russ Belt. W's in the chat for D. Graham, who sent a $5 super chat to say, W Santana, W Swan, let's kick off the perma ban of Liz. No, we're not going to perma ban Liz. Hopefully Liz learns something, and like I said, we can grow together. W's in the chat for Fusi. I'm so glad that you did that. Said, hi, Santana. Hope the debates go well. And you too. I noticed earlier you struggled to pronounce my name. I got your brother. It's pronounced, and then you put Fusi. So thank you so much for that. I'm horrible with names. And you doing it phonetically absolutely helps. Debbie's in chat for Fusi. Debbie's in the chat for Quick, who sent a $2 super chat to say, and she didn't say anything about the race analogy. Antagonist. Holy fuck, what is happening? The racist antagonist. I gotta slow down. She didn't say anything to the racist antagonist. W's in the chat. I completely agree. Again, I think it was just an opportunity to learn, and hopefully we can go from there. W's in the chat for Kimberly for the $2 donation. As a donor, I hope you call me out whenever I'm wrong. I'm here to educate myself and see things from other perspectives. Love you, Santana. I love you too, Kimberly. And we all have to have accountability, and calling each other out is super important. W's in chat for Heather for the $5 donation. Daily hug. And as a white woman, I swear to police my own and not be tone police for others. If that white woman, as much as I love and respect. Heather, thank you so much for the $5 donation, love and support. And I think, again, it's important to hold each other accountable. W's in the chat for Autumn for the $5 donation. Liz is obviously having a bad day and taking it out on you. You're amazing. And thank you for accountability and apologizing the right way. I'm not going to say that she's wrong as far as the way that she reacted when she heard me say that, because, again, what I said was harmful in the moment. I will say that understanding, accountability and making sure that we are, doing the right things by each other is super important. So W's in the chat for Michael for the $2 donation, saying Liz is currently Googling what race is while she's teacupping. Yes, she was, and still it's because she tried to get away from it. W's in the chat for Jared for the $1 donation, saying watching the first episode of Demon Slayer, dude, I'm hooked. I think I didn't think that I like anime in the past because it came across melodramatic. My mind has changed. Anime is fucking dope. W's in chat for MAGA Cries for the $2 donation, saying sometimes friendlies need checked and reminder how shit is ran. I do. Again, it's all about making sure that we're holding each other accountable and being better. Jamie, W's in chat for Jamie for the $20 donation, saying on the journey of self-growth, I've slipped with my words in the heat of a moment. I find it disingenuous to attack someone for their mistake. I appreciate you for holding yourself accountable when necessary. We all have moments. It's what we do following those moments that matter. I agree, but also I think I should hold myself more accountable because, again, I'm always trying to make sure that I'm being a good steward of everything you guys give me. And that's why, it's such a big deal for me to make sure that I don't have those type of slip ups. I'm going to read off 3 more and then we'll get to it and I'll read the rest later. I just there's so many and I don't want to be too far behind. W's in chat for Cassie for the $1 donation. White woman here. She can't sit with us. Cassie, don't do that. W's in chat for Jessica for the $5 donation. I can't donate much. Jessica, thank you for the 5. That's a lot. But I wanted to say I know that I support you and I appreciate you taking accountability. Liz is quite ignorant and does not deserve to be on the platform. I disagree, and hopefully she continues to be a part of the actual community. Last but not least, W's in chat for Shannon for the $5 donation. I just adore you and love watching. Thank you for making Mondays morning lessons. Absolutely. I'm just proud that I have so many wonderful people that are here to share with me. Guys, again, there's a ton more that I have to get to, and I will get to those. I just want to get to the debate. But if you like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat. I will read that out. All right, BG, your premise is that ICE should not be abolished because ICE has been around under the Obama administration, and now people are only shifting the narrative because it's this white man that's targeting the undocumented immigrants versus the black man that was targeting the undocumented immigrants. Am I accurate?
Yeah, correct. That it's basically the race war started under Obama in 2013. Would argue that BLM triggered it. So this is basically a race war. It has nothing to do with, those that are protesting. I don't believe are protesting for immigration. They're protesting against Trump, against the white race. But I would argue more against Trump because
BG, just to verify, what race are you?
I'm black, white, and Indian.
What do you phenotypically present as?
Hispanic.
Hispanic isn't a race.
That's why I said black, white, or Indian, because I'm
when you say Indian, do you mean from India, or do you mean, are you trying to say indigenous?
Indigenous, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So like black is a racial category, white is a racial category, indigenous is a racial category.
So I have all three.
Yeah. So while you may like quote unquote have all three, what do you phenotypically present as? If someone looks at you, right? What do they see? Do they see a black man? Do they see a white man? Do they see an indigenous man? Like more commonly accepted.
More closer to a black man or what you call it, an indigenous man.
Okay. All right.
So
thank you. All right.
I have white in me because on my mother's side. But with that said, what I'm trying to tell you is that it's a race war, and I would argue that we don't.
Picture of you right here. You're black. I got it. Don't worry about it. So you're black.
Yeah. So white people. I just wanted to say.
So understanding your whole perspective, and you think that this is about race and a race war that was started under Barack Obama. Question for you. When it comes to the utilization of ICE under the Obama administration versus under the Trump administration, can you tell me what is the main point of contention that, at least not necessarily what you think, but the main point of contention that has been said about the people on the left, why they're upset? Do you know why people are actively saying that they are upset?
On the left, they're upset because Trump, they don't like Trump.
Okay, that's what you think, but do you know what is being said?
What you mean? What's being said?
Yeah, I got you. The reason why people on the left are up in arms and are upset about what's happening with the ICE efforts and the difference between the Obama administration and the Trump administration is the fact that Donald Trump and his administration continue to violate the constitutional rights and human rights of not only undocumented immigrants, but other people, American citizens. So
yeah, but you're the part that I told you is going over your head, that they're protesting because they hate Trump. So it's not.
No, you think they're protesting because they hate Trump, and people are, but that's what I'm telling you. Like, the reason why people are protesting is because, one, people's constitutional rights are being violated. Two,
when they was protesting under Obama, they were protesting
humans. People, human rights are being violated, and three, like people, American citizens are getting murdered, and so that's why people.
Yeah. So under Obama, did they protest for immigration, or did they? What was the reason for the protest? Because from what I hear, they wasn't really protesting for immigration under Obama. I don't know what
you heard, but they did, and even more so, they took the Obama administration to court. The ACLU led a court case against Barack Obama because they said that what he was doing was unconstitutional. He wasn't giving people the access to due process. And they were able to go to court and verify not only did he give them access to due process, but he wasn't doing anything illegal through the methods that he was using for expedited removal. So yes, there were people that were protesting under the Obama administration, under the Biden administration, but the big difference between the actual protests is, again, people weren't actually having their constitutional rights violated, their human rights violated, and people weren't getting murdered. those three things are happening now under the Trump administration versus the other administrations.
I get you. But so you think TDS has nothing to do with this? Because at the end of the day, there's an immigration
supporter. You have TDS.
Wait. There's an immigration crisis. So we need to do something about that, don't we?
But the thing is, you're not doing anything about that. And again, TDS is a thing that Trump supporters have. You guys love screaming TDS.
Well, what do you mean that TD? I mean that you're saying that?
Yeah, I'm saying that if you're a Trump supporter, that you have Trump range syndrome.
And all they talk about is Trump.
Okay, hold on.
I don't understand.
Let me say this: if you're a Trump supporter,
they
you're
don't
the one
talk about Trump.
If you're a Trump supporter, you're the one that has quote unquote TDS because
all right, okay. How do I have Trump syndrome, bro? How?
I'm trying to explain it to you, but you won't. Stop cutting me off.
I don't talk about Trump. Y'all talk about Trump.
Fine. Okay, stop. And then listen. The reason why I say that Trump supporters have TDS is because they are, one, willing to acquiesce to anything that Trump says or do. They often twist themselves into pretzels in order to defend.
You misunderstood what I said.
Hey, BG, do you understand? Do you understand how a conversation works?
I know, but you misunderstood what I said.
No, that's fine. I need you to stop speaking while I'm speaking. I will let you speak.
You said something that was inaccurate.
I've only talked about why I say that Trump supporters are the one with TDS. So there's nothing that could be misunderstood or inaccurate because I'm only talking about the actual thing that I've been saying, right? Not anything that you said. Now just stop for like 10
so
seconds.
I'll take that back.
That's fine. I don't even need you to do that. Just stay muted. I'm literally the one muting you. Please stay muted. Please. I'm saying please.
Conversation when you're muting people.
Yes, because you won't stop interrupting me. BG, I'm so serious. Have impulse control, be an adult, stay on mute. If you don't want to do that, then I'm just going to move on to the next person. Like, I'm not sure what's happening, but just stop. The reason why I say Trump supporters have TDS is because they are willing to give Donald Trump coverage for no matter what he says or does. They look for justification in all of the things that he does. They look to twist and turn themselves into pretzels to make sure that anything that he is saying, no matter if it's going from one position to the other, it's always going to be supported. And they don't look to actually hold Donald Trump accountable for anything. And so that's why I say when you talk about TDS, it's something that you should ascribe to actual Trump supporters because there's no situation where they're willing to actually hold Donald Trump accountable. BG, you can prove me wrong right now. Can you tell me when it comes to the things that Donald Trump has been saying and doing, let's see if you can hold him accountable for any of these things. I'm going to name a couple of things and I need you to tell me whether or not you are condemning Trump for it. First and foremost, Donald Trump said that if you actually elect him, that he was going to end the war in Russia and Ukraine within 24 hours. Are you condemning him for not only not ending the war within 24 hours, but not making any significant progress?
Well, I can go to that question if you let me go back to the question before this one.
There was no question before this one. The question that I'm having is, let's see.
Yeah, we were talking about TDS, and I wanted to...
Still talking about TDS. I'm running you through the test to see if I am wrong. So the question is...
Okay, but it was a misunderstanding when I said TDS. I want to take TDS back.
Okay.
And explain it better, what I was trying to say.
Sure,
okay. It's what I was trying to tell you, host, is that the only thing that Democrats talk about, they don't talk about really like fixing the economy and anything that's going to, besides just more safety nets. That's all. And not even that, right? They mostly just talk about Trump. Everything that comes out of their mouth is something that Trump did. The 34 felonies, the ballots, he's a rapist, he's a pedo. And now the Epstein files, and it goes on, and they weaponize the system. Everything that Democrats stand for is against Trump. It's not for immigration. It's because they hate Trump. Do you agree, or you don't think that the Democrats, all they talk about is Trump?
I think that I have a platform that I get an opportunity to speak in front of thousands of people every single day. Right now, we have a combined almost 2.5 thousand
And I
people
respect
listening to
that.
us.
I respect that. This app is mostly Democrats. There's 80% Democrats on this app.
DG,
So
you asked me a
accept
question, and I started answering the question. You immediately cut me out before I
it.
finished.
My bad. Go ahead.
I think that I have a responsibility to ensure that whenever I am speaking on anything, that I not only represent myself, but I give representation to the people that actually spend their time within my lives and engage with my content. And so when you look at the things that I actually speak about or I platform, these things aren't about Donald Trump, right? These things are about fixing the country. And so when I say dismantle the patriarchy, while Donald Trump absolutely benefits from the patriarchy, and I might talk about him when it comes to the patriarchy, it's not about Donald Trump. When I talk about abolishing ICE, while Donald Trump is, of course, the president of the United States and giving ICE their direction, I'm not talking about Donald Trump in the sense of ICE. I'm talking about the way that ICE is overwhelmingly harming Americans. When I talk about lock up the GDP, I'm not saying Donald Trump is the only person that needs to be locked up. I'm talking about the lack of accountability that is had on the Republican side of the aisle, and how there's been multiple people on that side of the aisle that has been harmful. And hell, I even say that I am not excluding the DNC. I'm talking about all politicians. When I say eat the rich, yes, Donald Trump is a billionaire, but this is not about Donald Trump. This is about capitalism, and this is about the over harmful way that the ultra wealthy has disenfranchised the middle and lower class. When I say non-white reparations, yes, Donald Trump would not qualify for non-white reparations. And yes, even Donald Trump talked about giving reparations to white people, but this has nothing to do with Donald Trump. This talks about actually finding equity within our society and repairing the harms that have been caused to non-white people. So when you sit here and say, well, the Democrats, they talk about this, and the left people on the left talk about that, that's fine. That may be other lives, but you're here with me on this live, on my panel, and these are the things we're talking about. So when you talk about TDS, I'm not talking about Donald Trump. He may be used an example. He may be something that we get to, but these things aren't specifically for Donald Trump. This is for the things that are actually plaguing our country.
I'm sorry. This is Americans that are getting in ISIS's way. And we have an immigration problem, so I don't understand.
You think Americans should be murdered in the street?
Absolutely not. But if you go to a protest armed, and you're being aggressive, you're an American being aggressive against ICE, then obviously there's something wrong with you. Because we got to put America first.
Do you think Americans should be murdered in the streets?
I believe absolutely not. But
so why isn't it a full stop right there? Why is there a but after that? Because I think, hold on, let me just say this. When I say I don't think Americans should be murdered in the street, there's no but for me. And I don't care if you're talking about the people that have been murdered by ICE. I don't care if you talk about the January 6ers that tried to actually overthrow our country. I don't think that Americans should be murdered in the street. And so I don't understand you trying to find this justification behind them being murdered by saying that, oh, they showed up to a protest with guns. We as Americans have the Second Amendment right to carry weapons.
Yes.
In this situation, people trying to find justification in Alex Purdy being murdered by saying, oh, he shouldn't have brought a gun to a protest. We as Americans have the absolute right to show up anywhere as long as there is nothing stopping us from being able to enter any type of facilities and any type of facilities that prohibits guns. And so if you're out in the streets and you are a gun owner that are permitted, if you are
a bad person armed, the enforcement has a right to unalive you. If you are a bad person because you're armed and you're licensed.
Can you tell me what Alex Purdy did with his weapon that caused him to be murdered?
He was being aggressive, kicking a vehicle, was spitting on the vehicle.
You're talking about two different videos.
Yes, he's aggressive.
I need you to stop and listen. Stop and listen. Stop and listen. Alex Purdy was not murdered because he kicked and spit a fucking car. Even if he did, even if all of that happened at one time, he should not have been murdered for kicking and spitting at a car. Alex Purdy was recording what ICE was doing. He saw ICE assaulting a woman. He stepped in between the woman and ICE and tried to stop them. They maced him, they dogpiled him, they took his weapon, and then they shot him. So now I need you to tell me, within him recording, seeing ICE actually assaulting a woman, stepping in between and trying to stop them from assaulting this woman being maced, being dogpile on, being on all four, having his weapon removed from him while he was still on all four and then being shot. Tell me where the justification came from.
It says in part of the video, if you look at it, you see him going for his pee-pee.
He did not go for his weapon because he's on all four. You're fucking lying.
No, they have him when a video I saw.
You're fucking lying.
I don't think he knew his pee-pee wasn't there.
You are fucking lying because his weapon was on his back. Yes, you are.
Then maybe it was air.
No, you're lying. You're literally lying.
So, all right, let's say you're right about that. But what I'm trying to
no, stop. We're not gonna say that I'm right. You're literally lying. He was on all fours, on his knees. Okay, perfect. You got camera access. Get the video and show it to me.
I don't know where I saw that.
That's fine. Take a minute and go find it. I'm going to mute you and I'm going to thank some people. You take a minute and go find it.
I didn't record it.
That's fine. I don't care. Take a minute. You can find it. If this is the case, stop coming off mute. Take a minute. Go find it. I'm going to thank a few people and we'll wait. W's in the chat for Megan for the $2 and for the $2.20 donation saying, not sure if you heard this, but Harvard implicates association test that some people can use to find their. I'm reading donations, you fucking idiot. I'm reading donations. I'm not even talking to you. Go find your source. Not sure if you heard this, but Harvard implicates associations. Association test is something people can use to find their innate biases for many different groups for people, and people should use it. Knowledge is power. You're absolutely right. It's the actual website that was given was www.implicit.harvard.edu /implicit/ take a test v2.html. W's in the chat for Megan. Thank you so much for that, Megan. W's in the chat as well for Sophie for the $7.04 donation saying, you sound like a real man, taking accountability, being sensitive and growing up as a person. You help keep the hope that it's not all men. It is all men until all men prove that it's not. You're an amazing person and your voice is important. Thank you from Montreal. W's in chat for Matt Scramble for the $10 donation. I'm not wanting to identify as white, but Liz is giving, I don't want to talk about I want to talk to your manager energy. She's tripping over privilege. Thank you for the apology and for continuing to model how to become a better person. Again, I wouldn't even say that I'm a model for that. I just want to try to be a better person as an individual. W's in chat for Junior for the $3 donation saying, stop being so nice. It drives me crazy. Bro, you're amongst men. Stop. You're a god amongst men. I am not. I'm just a person. W's in chat for Laura for the $30 donation saying, Laura, thank you so much for the $30 donation. I'm not going to read that out loud because you said that, but it's not missed on me. Fucking W's in the chat for Laura. Thank you so much for the 30 and the kind words. W's in the chat for Junior for the $2 donation saying, the queer and disabled community got you though. I know, listen, we're all locked in. You know how we do. Junior. W's in chat for Elizabeth for the $5 donation saying, spa day fun. I do need a fucking spa day. I'm not gonna hold you. W's in chat for Heather for the $3 donation saying, Black women told us after the election that we had to start doing the work. I took it to heart. It's your turn. You need to be out and get in the danger. More daily hugs and much respect. Thank you so much, Heather. W's in chat for Megan for the $2 donation said from Void. Hey, Void. I'm sorry. Sorry. You gotta put that in the front. I'm sorry. W's in the chat for Edgar for the $5 donation. Love what you do. All the MAGAs on YouTube, because they scare me. Yeah, they're literally the only reason they hang out on YouTube is because they're terrified. W's in chat for Mike for the $2 donation, saying, I fucking love this community and what you built here. Mike, we built together. Like, literally, this is all on us. W's in chat for Yono, who sent a $10 donation, saying, I had a back and forth with my son and niece and my sister who are Trump lovers. They all ganged up on me. Thank you and others. They were able to fight back. Thanks to you and others, I was able to fight back. Please talk to me, Liz. You keep on messing up my name. And Liz is messing up your, how is Liz messing up your name? Oh, I get it. Get it. W's in the chat. Thank you so much. W's in the chat for Abby for the $5 donation, saying daily cheese and allowance. Thank you so much. W's in the chat for Rihanna for the $1 donation, saying what does Liz put on her medical records? White. W's in chat for Boss Lady Fun for the $5 donation. Thank you for always taking accountability. I appreciate you. I appreciate you more. W's in chat for D Ground for the $2 donation, saying W Kim, W Swan, W Santana, long live Ace. I know that's right. W's in the chat for Jess for the $5 donation, saying happy Black History Month. Happy Black History Month. W's in chat for Renee for the $20 donation, saying love an educated Black man. Renee, thank you so much for the $20 donation. Guys, all of you are so fucking awesome. W's in the chat for all of you. You are amazing. I know there's some stuff over on YouTube that I haven't gotten to, but we want to keep it moving. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything's accepted. Anything's appreciated. Thank you, Kinsey, for the dog. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat. I will read that out. All right, BG, that was a lot of time. Were you able to find that source that shows that Alex Purdy was reaching for his weapon?
Yeah, I tried to look for it. It was on a TikTok scrolling that I saw it. I was scrolling, so I didn't download it. But I'm gonna
just like pull up the video and go into the spot on the video where he was being shot. And
well, like, that's what I was trying to tell you, host. That I was trying to tell you I'm not really focused on that. I'm more focused on.
If you're not focused on that, then why would you make that claim?
Because I'm more like, I don't know how to explain it to you. To me, this is more like a spiritual warfare kind of thing. So I'm more like. So
you don't have any facts. You just have your feelings. That's what you're saying.
You could. I mean, it's also from facts that I've learned from what I've analyzed. Why these people, who these people are that are in these protests. So if they're if you see a footage of this person in another situation being aggressive and not being a peaceful protester, why don't you care about that?
Because protest isn't about peace. Protest is about change. And for you to sit here and say that you think that there's a certain way that people should or should not protest.
But you don't get change. We know we don't get change.
Asked me
being
a question.
Aggressive.
I sat there.
You don't get change being aggressive. You get change by peaceful.
BG, this is your last chance. This is your last warning. This is your last warning. Stop interrupting me. I sat there and let you get all of that out. And then you asked me a question. I tried to answer the question. And before I could finish my sentence, you interrupted me. Stop it.
My bad.
The reason why I don't have an issue is because you don't get to dictate how protest is done. Protest is not about comfort. It's about change. It's not about convenience. It's about action. And so when you see people doing things like blocking roadways or disrupting businesses or causing people some type of absolute stoppage of income or daily life, like that's how protest is supposed to work. Protest is supposed to actually impact people in a way that they force change, not in a way that they're just saying, hey, did you see people standing outside the roads by the roads with the picket signs? No, you do things, you do actionable things. One of the best protests that I can personally call to recently is the Abbott boycott of Target when they decided that they wanted to get ahead of the curve and completely dismantle their DEIA program to acquiesce to Donald Trump and his administration. And what followed was them losing billions of dollars because people stood up and said, if you don't want to support Black and brown people, if you don't want to support the people that need and demand equity within the country, then we don't want to support you with our money. That's a protest, but that isn't the only form of protesting. So you cannot tell people how they should or should not protest. Alex Brady was involved in protesting, but he was not being violent and he was still murdered. Correct.
But see, with this TDS situation, that's why I brought it up. It's not the same thing because you are literally. They tried to unalive the president. They unalived Charlie Kirk multiple times. They tried to unalive the president. Well, no, I don't believe it was Republicans. I believe that it was people that support the left. It might have been Republicans.
Literally, the attempts that were on Donald Trump's live, whether you believe it or not, were done by people
that were Republican and still registered as
Republican. And then also, if you talk about the person that actually allegedly killed Charlie Kirk, his entire family are not only Republicans, but Trump supporting Republicans.
You could be a Republican
and that actually tried to take.
You could be a Republican and still be on the left, but they try to unalive him, period. They try to unalive him.
W's in chat for MAGA cries for the $2 donation saying, next time one of these idiots bring up Alex Purdy having a gun at the protest to justify his murder, ask them if they hold the same energy for the protest that stormed the Michigan State Capitol in 2020, armed with rifles and wearing body armor. They don't actually give a shit about that. Like they only care when it comes to making their own point. They don't care about any of that. W's in the chat for Fusi. Thank you, Fusi, for the $5 super chat. You did make it clearer. W's in chat for Fusi. Thank you. W's in chat for Dev for the $4.99 super chat to say, Senator Rand Paul, after seeing this, if you call this a good shooting, you aren't watching the video. The man had been disarmed and was shot 10 times. Yes. W's in the chat for Dylan for the $2.79 Canadian. To say, did you get a chance to look up the, no, I didn't, but thank you for reminding me. I would definitely check that. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Sekti, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Sexy Loner, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and drop you down. Guys, keep tapping the screen if you don't mind. Let's get the likes up to 300,000 likes. Also, if you could, can we knock out, give me a follow. Look up at the top, you see the word follow. We're driving to 100,000 followers, so make sure you hit that follow button and also follow the backup to the backup. I'm gonna post it right here. Boom. Follow the backup to the backup. I just put it in the chat. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
No. Can I just say something real quick, though, about the newest video of Alex Brady?
No, thank you. I appreciate you guys. Please respect the boundaries. Please respect the boundaries. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We are only looking for some debates. If you are a friendly or if you like to say something, you can say it in the chat. If I see it, I'll respond. If it's important enough, you can get it to one of the mods and they can share with me. Or if you want it read off for sure or want a question for sure, then you can send something to the pay links and I'll directly address it. Bold, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Hey. Yeah, a bunch of it actually.
Okay. Are you saying that are you a Trump supporter?
I mean, I support the president. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Trump personally, but you know, he's the guy right now. So,
okay, that's fine. So I think there's a way that we can go about about being able to fix where we are as a country. There's multiple things that we can address, including dismantling the patriarchy, abolishing ICE, locking up the GOP, eating the rich, and also giving reparations to non-white people. Which point do you feel the most strong about that you would like to start at?
Well, you can start at the top, dismantle the patriarchy. What do you pose in place of this?
Merit-based system, right? I mean, the point of the patriarchal system is to uphold white men at the top, but specifically white supremacy.
Well, what makes you think those are separate?
What are you talking about?
Well, any group of men are qualified by other men. Iron sharpens iron, right?
That's not true. Literally, you sitting here saying that men are qualified because they're men is antithetical.
I'm not saying they're qualified because they're men. I'm saying in a group of men, they kind of self-select. There's always, they select their own leaders. There's a hierarchy within it that is merit-based.
Would you like for me to finish giving you my premise as far as like why the patriarchy needs to be dismantled and what that would look like?
Go ahead.
All right, perfect. So the point that I'm trying to get across is that the reason why we are where we are today within the United States society is simply because of the patriarchal system. We understand that white men sit at the top of the patriarchal system, and white men have overwhelmingly been the leaders of our country. If you look back at the almost 250-year history of the United States of America, about 90% of all members of Congress have been white men. And even if you look at the makeup of Congress today, about 74% of Congress is white men. And so the point that I'm getting across is no matter if you're a Democrat or Republican, if you say that the state of our country is in flux, which it is, if there's an issue within our country, it is, it's because of the patriarchal system. There should be no actual favoritism that is given because you are white or because you are a man. And the different intersects that are disenfranchised because they are not a white or a man are the ones that are not only being harmed, but the ones that are actively being exploited because they tend to prop up the ability for white supremacists to continue to perpetuate any type of harm based off the fact that they're doing anything positive. So my premise is getting rid of the patriarchal system, allowing the people that are best fit to step forward, and allowing that to actually push our country forward on progression, not based off of the good old boy system.
I hear you on the merit, but I don't see a lot of what you're talking about, though. Because it feels like
Do you think our country's great right now? Like, are you happy with the current standing of our country?
You should never be happy with the current standing of our country.
Do you think that the current state of our country is overwhelmingly positive for all Americans?
I don't think that about any country.
That's not the question. Please answer the question directly. I don't want to go in circles or go around and answer the question directly. Do you think the current state of our country is overwhelmingly positive for all Americans?
No, and it's never been and it never will be.
Okay. See, I can agree with that first part, but the second part, I disagree. And the reason why I say it never has been is because anything that has been done for the country has been specifically catered to the demographic that has been in power. Again, that's why I gave the reference of about 90% of all of Congress. That's fine. I just want to finish my sentence. 90% of all Congress being white men have overwhelmingly passed legislation. And while some legislation may help others or harm others, white men have never passed any type of legislation that has disenfranchised them, while they have overwhelmingly in the past been willing to pass legislation that disenfranchised non-white men.
In what way? What are you referring to when you say that?
Yeah. When you take a look at the fact that the United States Constitution was written so only rich white men that own land had the ability to vote and had rights, and then everyone else received rights afterwards. You could take a look at the way that women had to get the right to vote. Black people had to become actual citizens. And even to today, those same rights are under attack when you talk about the Supreme Court currently hearing a case that deals with the Voter Right Act, and that will not only could disenfranchise Black people as far as voting, but shift the balance of power with voting and shift the amount of representation throughout the country and lessening Black people representation as a whole. You can talk about the avid push that is occurring right now on the right to remove women's right to vote, saying that there needs to be a shift back to the household vote and that men should be the one casting the vote for all of the house, not for women. Those types of things are the things that are white men have overwhelmingly been willing to do and to attack, because those things don't actually negative impact them.
Yeah, I agree with the women not voting thing. Though
I don't care if you agree with it or not. I'm just giving you the example of what I mean when I say that.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't think structures exist without a patriarchy, really.
Can you give me anything beneficial of the patriarchal system that's rooted in empirical data and not your feelings?
Not really. I would say that men lean on logic more than women do, right?
Wait. I literally just said, can you give me anything with empirical data that's beneficial about the patriarchal system, not your feelings? And you say, not really, but I believe that men lean on logic more than women. You literally stayed away from logic and went towards feelings while talking about women being engaging in feelings and not logic. You don't see the flaw in what you just said?
If you were to reason, I would argue that you should reason through first principles before data.
You literally just said that men lean on logic. Logic is rooted in data, right?
No, not necessarily.
So logic is rooted in feelings.
It can be rooted in data. There's other ways to know things.
Give me something that's logic that's grounded in feelings.
No, what?
You are saying that men lean on logic.
Yeah.
Logic is rooted in data. If something is logical, it's logically constructed based off of data, facts, and information.
Well,
but
facts, I got you, but data can be manipulated easily.
How do you get facts?
How do you get facts? I guess trial and error is probably the largest way.
Wait, so are you saying that you use proven data to create facts?
The sun is hot is a fact. I don't need data to prove it.
Yeah, you actually do. You actually do. The reason why we are verifiably able to say the sun is hot is because we have the data, the science behind the heat that comes from the sun. That's why we don't sit here and say, oh, the reason why it's hot outside is because the ground is breathing hard or some stupid shit.
So without the data, we could not say the sun is hot.
Without the data, we wouldn't know that the reason why it's hot is because of the sun.
The sun's hot because of the sun?
Before the actual data, before this studying, before the empirical knowledge, the only thing that we thought was the sun was a light in the sky, and that at night it was pulled by a chariot across the sky, and they brought the moon out at night. Literally, the logic that humans used prior to knowing the science and data was there was an actual God that was responsible for dragging the sun across the sky. Mm-hmm. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
But I bet they knew it was hot.
Are you in a bathtub?
I am not. I'm at work.
What do you do for a living? Like, not where you work, but like your job function or whatever.
Pools.
You do pools.
Yeah.
Do you like clean pools? Do you build pools? What do you do?
Right now I'm just cleaning this one.
Okay, so you clean pools, right? I'm assuming that you shock them, you vacuum out the bottom, you do all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Is that science?
I mean, you could put science to it. I mean,
no. Would you have the ability to actually clean the pools with the blends of chemicals that you use and the methodology that you use? Would you be able to clean the pool without any of that science?
Without any of the chemicals? I could clean it, but I couldn't keep it clean.
So even the ability to clean the pool and the ability to do your job is based off of empirical data and science and facts and knowledge, right? It's not because you just want the pool clean. It's not because you're like, ooh, I want this pool clean, so it's going to be clean.
Data can be part of the reasoning, but data only tells a portion of the story. It only ever does.
While I agree with that, it seems like that you lack the part of the reasoning. You lack the actual data. Like that's the problem that I have right now.
Patriarchy, right? With the patriarchy, data would be that we're standing in it.
Again, can you give me one piece of evidence that shows that the patriarchal system has been beneficial? Any type of empirical data that shows that it's been beneficial?
Well, we started this capitalism system, right? And
capitalism isn't beneficial to everyday Americans.
It's lifted more people out of poverty, I believe, than any other system.
No, it's not. It's created more poverty.
You don't think it's lifted more people out of poverty than ever before?
How the fuck does capitalism lift people out of poverty?
Because
that doesn't even make sense.
System doesn't. Because the class system doesn't. It used to be in an old world that you would have to wait generations, multiple generations, before you could even move a little bit up the ladder, whatever country
do you think that capitalism removes the class system?
That's the whole point, isn't it?
No.
I mean, there's still a consumer, if you're asking about like that kind of thing. But as far as a racial or ethnic-based system to where it just classically keeps a whole class of people underground, no. They were standing in a patriarchy that worked. But
I just muted you because I need a second. W's in the chat for Cheryl for the $10 donation, saying thank you. Your continuous inclusion of Native American Indigenous as marginalized, and I appreciate this so much. Your strength. No pivoting is so refreshing too. Yeah. I think the exclusion of indigenous people is super harmful, and it's something that a lot of people do absolutely refuse to engage in. W's in chat for Jess for the $10 donation, saying love you, Jess. So much for the 10. W's in chat for Jess for a $1 donation, saying Trump supporters don't take baths. Duh, Santana. You're right. You're right. Guys, if anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links, and link in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat. I will read that out. 2,000 of us hanging out here. Tap the screen. Let's get the likes up to 400,000 likes. Also, hit that follow button. If you look up at the top, you see the word follow. If you're not following me, hit that follow button. We're on our road to 100,000 followers, so make sure you're hitting that follow button right here. Hit that follow button. Turn on notifications, send your heart me. Bold. Do you have any type of substance behind anything that you have said so far, or anything that you plan on saying? Do you have any type of source, data, or information to back up anything that you're saying? Or are we only going to be dealing with your feelings? I'm good with either one. I just need to know how we're moving forward. So are you going to be bringing any type of factual information, or are we going to do all of this based off of feelings moving forward? Sent you a request to come off mute. Also, W's in the chat for Beth for the $10 donation, saying you have the patience of a saint. I don't know about that one, Beth. Thank you, though. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bold.
We can go either way. We can use data. I prefer looking at the real world, honestly.
So, but do you have any type of facts of it or empirical data that you can prove?
Prove what exactly?
Whatever you're going to talk about.
We're standing in a patriarchy?
No, not the word that it's been. That's fine. I'm assuming that means we're just going to go off feelings. Don't worry. I'm willing to go off feelings. It's fine. But if we're going to go off feelings, then this is what we're going to do. One, I just want to let you know that my chat doesn't play. FYI. Two, I'm going to let you know that your words are really about to matter if we're going to go off feelings. Because three, chat, $100 bounty for Bold. So if you guys don't like what he's saying, since we're going to go off feelings and you want to get him up out of here, $100 kick fund.
Both.
Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, not YouTube. YouTube, I appreciate the super chats, but we do the kicks through the pay link. So if you decide that you want him out of here, you can send that through the pay links. $100 kick fund, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Santana speaks for you. Bo, give me the emotional debate as far as why the patriarchal system is beneficial to us in America.
You could use the factual one, that the matriarchal one has never existed and never existed in anything long term.
Okay.
It's not what you find in the wild. You don't find matriarchal systems in the wild. It just doesn't happen.
Lions.
Yeah, they go get the big guy when it's time to eat because they want the big dinner.
Lions are literally literally the lioness runs the actual pride. They hunt, they do all of the things. They're literally the leaders. And if they feel like the male lion who is there for breeding, if he is not up standard, then they will exile him. They will fight him. They will put him out. So literally, you're wrong.
Fight him?
Yes.
I've never seen them fight him. That's fucking crazy.
You've never seen a pack of lioness take out a lion?
Nope.
You need to go look that up, Bubbo. You're absolutely wrong.
I know when they want the big kill, they go get the big guy.
I don't think you know anything, but again, you don't have empirical data because you haven't done any research, so you're wrong. So can you give me your emotional perspective about why the patriarchal system works? Because obviously it's failing us in this conversation. You're showing here that you're just a mediocre man that doesn't really know anything. So please put up a better fight.
Well, all of the progress that has been made until whenever you would think that men have relinquished power would be because of the patriarchy, right?
Yes, it would be, because men have not actually allowed anyone else to have access to said power. They've used violence in order to have a monopoly on power. So the access to violence and cruelty is something that has been used throughout the patriarchal system to uphold the patriarchy.
So the progress we've made as humanity largely is due to the patriarchy.
No, the law we've made in society.
You said nothing else has existed. Well, you said
that's
nothing.
what I. The lack of progress that we've made, we would be in a better position today if we didn't have the patriarchal system. Because
hearsay.
No, that's not hearsay. When I'm sitting here telling you that, like, things like the actual crusades, right? The actual premise that religion should outweigh science. Like the fact that we have been thrown back in this current administration where we're rolling back vaccines because we have emotional men leading our country it's not based off of science. It's based off of them for some reason thinking that people shouldn't have vaccinations. Like literally the actual patriarchal system that we have in place has caused us or kept us from being able to progress to the level that we would have if we were in other situations.
That's hearsay. You can talk about ifs all day, but these
how is that hearsay? Did the Crusades not happen?
All day.
Did the Crusades not happen?
If Hitler wasn't born, we'd already be on the moon.
Hey, Bo, did the Crusades not happen?
The Crusades happened.
Okay, and was the Crusades one of the most damning periods within the world as far as stifling innovation in science?
I don't know. I don't know that to be true because
I know you don't know shit because you don't know shit because you don't have any information because you're fucking stupid. Listen to these nuts in your mouth. I fucking hate these people. I fucking hate these people so much. No, I'm sorry. I'm trying. I'm sorry. I'm trying. I really am. W's in the chat for everyone that added to the kick fund. It's still coming in. It came in fast. Sorry. I looked over and didn't even get a chance to start adding up. I just saw the numbers and I immediately just kicked them. Let me run through these really quick. W's in the chat for Aaron for the $25 donation saying my feelings said he needs to go. Thank you so much, Aaron. W's in the chat for Kenzie for the $15 donation saying, thank you for always keeping me entertained while I'm working. It makes my morning go by much quicker. Go ahead and add this to the kick fund. This dude is clueless. He really was. W's in the chat for Timothy for the $10 donation saying, kick this fool. W's in the chat for Barbara. Holy shit, Barbara sent a $50 donation saying, kick as quickly as possible. I can't handle this level of stupidity today. Plus, I'm worried about you. Today is ridiculous and you need some type of self-care. Yeah, I'm not going to hold you. Today is interesting, and I promise you, like, I'm going to have to find balance in multiple ways with self-care. Debbie's in the chat for Lily for the $2 donation saying the guest is delusional, kick him. Debbie's in the chat for Kelly for the $10 donation saying kick fun, love your work. Thank you, Kelly. Debbie's in the chat for Yornis for the Yono, sorry, for the $5 donation saying hi, it's Yono. The matriarchy / woman-centered system tends to be successful because it's organized power around survival, continuity, and collective well-being rather than a domination. Tell this guest to kick rocks. Absolutely. Debbie's in the chat for Shirley for the $10 donation saying for the kick fund, this pool cleaner, for the pool cleaner and others if he needs it. Absolutely. W's in chat for Veronica for the $10 donation saying matriarchal system exists in tribes before Columbus came and executed and enslaved those tribes. Columbus came from a patriarchal system. Tell him men need to read a fucking book. Women in those societies experienced less pain when it came to menstruation and childbirth. I can absolutely believe that. W's in chat for MAGA, or for Mike for the $2 donation saying, man, it's way too early in the morning to be dealing with this level of stupidity. I thought that was just me. Not even going to hold you. W's in the chat for Kai for the $10 towards the kick fund. W's in the chat for Elizabeth to the $20 towards the kick fund. W's in the chat for Joanna for the $5 saying, get this effing idiot away from us. Yes. Two more that came in prior to this. W's in the chat for Savannah for the $10 saying, this guest is the first ever that I've ever been forced to yell at. Can't help it. I don't know how you do it. I'm trying to be patient and try not to yell. And I have my lovely wife on the background telling me to be better as well. So W's in chat for Trisha for the $10 donation saying the confidence and audacity of the mediocre white men to be so wrong. It'll never cease to amaze me. Like, they lean into that shit as well. And last but not least, W's in chat for me for the $5 donation saying, yeah, when they want the big kill, they can, but the manservant, they get the manservant to work and then eat what he fixes for dinner. This little boy is why I feverishly wish that I were gay. I know that's right. W's in chat for all the wonderful people for the kick fund. And guys, again, if anyone would like to support live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and Linktree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We are only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's get the likes up to 400,000 likes. Please, please, please. Hoko, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Hoko, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Okay, I'm going to take that as a no.
I'm so sorry.
No worries. Guys, really quick, take a look down at the bottom. If you see the pink and blue person, you're good. You're not in the request. You are perfectly fine. But if you see the gray person, that means you're in the request. You're here. You're ready to debate. So please, 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 if you look down at the bottom, you see the gray person, that means you're in the request. You're here and you're ready to debate. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We're only looking for some debates. I figured out how we actually fix our country, and that's through dismantling the patriarchy, abolishing ICE, locking up the GOP, eating the rich, and giving reparations to non-white people. If you disagree with any of those things, or you're a Trump supporter, get in the box. Serenity, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background? Serenity, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background? Okay, I'll drop you. Oh, that person left. The official, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Much respect and love to you, bro. Would you come to Minnesota and protest with me?
Guys, please only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Please, guys, please respect the boundaries of the live. We are only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, do all the wonderful things. Joe, are you going to have impulse control or self-control today?
Yeah, I've never debated you. You kicked me before, but I took out my repost because I didn't want to hurt other people.
Okay, but you know what? W's you. Actually, W's you. All right, Joe, I think that this is the way to fix our country. Multiple things with dismantling the patriarchy, abolishing ICE, locking up the GOP, eat the rich, and also reparations for non-white people. So with that being said, what point do you disagree with the most that you want to start with?
Yeah, I disagree with, I think that after JFK got, pewed, I don't want that ever to happen, and I want national security to be at its best. And I think that having ICE as our law enforcement to, kick, I think, right, even though they're kicking some people that are, that don't have criminal records, I think that they are actually trying to, and doing their best to kick the bad ones out. And by doing that, I think it just reduces the threat that we have from, invaders or from people that are not here legally. And, it's I don't know, I find it very bipolar. I don't know how to say the exact word, but, I hear a lot of abolish ICE now. But with that, I think that a lot of people are saying that because, 2 people got unalived. But with that mindset, couldn't we also say kick the immigrants out because, they murder people too, like Lake and Riley, or 30 people this year?
Yeah, so a couple of things that you said. One, ICE and JFK have nothing to do with each other. As an American citizen, allegedly they killed JFK, but even more so, ICE wasn't constructed until after 9/11. But when you talk about the influx of immigrants within the country, or any people that may have caused harm to the country, it's not because of ICE or whatever. Like, I'm sorry, not because of undocumented immigrants. There's a huge discrepancy between the reason why ICE was created versus what they're doing now. And even if you talk about like the amount of people that have been harmed by undocumented immigrants under this Trump administration so far, more people have been killed by ICE or in ICE custody than any undocumented immigrants in the country. So there's a massive imbalance. The reason why I think there's a need to abolish ICE is because of a couple of things. One, it's highly ineffective, just due to the level of funding that it receives and the level of support that it gets and coverage that it gets, yet it's still, they're deporting at a lower rate than the Biden or Obama administration. But also, like, it's a tool of white supremacy. It literally upholds white supremacy because it's the modern day slave patrol. And so I think all of those things combined is the massive, overwhelming need to abolish ICE. I mean, hell, we survived for almost 200 something years without ICE. And so it's not something that is like pertinent to the existence of our country.
Yeah, but I think that my question would be, right, if we don't have ICE, then what would we have? Because I do think that a lot of people don't obey our immigration laws. I think that some people overstay their visas, or some people try doing it the wrong way because they're fearing persecution, or I would say they're fearing probably a better future for their kids. So what would be like something that you would incentivize that we have instead of ICE.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the one thing that I would want to go back to is the fact that ICE isn't the entity that does anything then when it comes to like addressing border patrol or overall like beneficial when it comes to addressing our immigration system. I think that if you want to really talk about how do we improve our system and, you know, how do we justify getting rid of ICE or even like what do we do with ICE, I think we have to take a look at fixing the overall immigration system. And then we can talk about like how do we manage those different agencies within the country. I think that the best thing that we could possibly take a look at is mass amnesty, right? Mass amnesty would not only be more cost efficient versus what we're currently doing with mass deportation, but it would actually give us the coverage we need to completely identify how many undocumented immigrants we actually have in the country, because those numbers tend to vary because no one can actually get that accurate amount of numbers. It'll allow us to safely integrate undocumented immigrants into our society, which then will have a stabilization as far as labor rates, right? I mean, one of the reasons why people have such an issue with undocumented immigrants is because they're willing to do work at a lower rate. But the only reason they're willing to do work at a lower rate is not because they want to, it's because they're forced to. They're exploited through labor, right? So if you can't exploit them anymore by saying, hey, if you don't accept this lower rate, I'm going to, call ICE on you and get you deported, then that forces those people who are employing undocumented immigrants to pay everyone the standard rate. And then last but not least, it gives us more coverage to actually go through any type of deportation efforts in the future, because if you give people access to mass amnesty and you actually give them a pathway to citizenship, those people that say, no, I don't want that, then there's something up. There's something up with those people. And so you would literally say like, hey, the only reason you wouldn't want a legal pathway to citizenship while being undocumented is because you're here for nefarious means. And so if we can do that, then I feel like there's more justification as far as being able to go after those people, because those people would be the worst of the worst versus, people just trying to survive.
Yeah, but I think that with mass amnesty, I think that it's more humane if you do that, right? But at the same time, you know that we are a nation of laws, and if we don't obey our laws, and if we don't keep up, and we don't, I think enforce our laws, people are going to keep breaking our laws, right? Like we can give them mass amnesty. I'm not sure. I remember, I think it was a Democrat or a Republican president, I forgot his name, that gave mass amnesty.
Ronald Reagan, Republican president.
Yeah, so he gave mass amnesty, right? And I think that what he did was great for the nation, but like if you see now, we're having the same problem. Immigrants are coming in this country, or they're not here the legal way, and if we do the same thing, it's just gonna incentivize people to come the wrong way.
We didn't have like this mass entrance of the country due to mass amnesty. Question for you. What was Barack Obama called? Like, what was his title when it came to immigration?
The chief, I think, the chief of deportations.
Deporter in chief. Yeah, they call Barack Obama the deporter in chief, and the reason why they call Barack Obama the deporter in chief is because he had a negative immigration rate, meaning Barack Obama actually deported more people than he actually came into the country, right? And the issue with Barack Obama deporting more people that came into the country, I'm sorry, not the issue, but the thing that happened is he utilized certain methods to ensure that he was able to go through deportation. Now, can you and I agree that there was an actual crisis there was a border crisis under the Biden administration?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So if we can agree that there was a border crisis during the Biden administration, but during the Obama administration, there was no border crisis in the sense of he deported more people than came into the country. What was the connective tissue between the Biden administration and the Obama administration? Was there something that happened in between those two administrations that would have caused an influx of undocumented immigrants coming into the country?
Well, first of all, I respect Barack Obama. What he did for a lot of people was a great thing. One of the things that I was a big fan of was DACA, something that I wish that, Joe Biden gave to, I think, people that deserve to be in this country that are here illegally. But I think one of the reasons on why people would come during Joe Biden's administration was because of the economy, I guess, right? Because people were suffering in their home countries, or I think, because, they wanted to make money and they wanted to come here and work. That
wasn't the question though, Joe.
So your question was, why do people come here? What was your question again?
The question was, if we can agree that under the Obama administration, he was the deporter in chief, he had a negative deportation rate, but under Joe Biden, there was a border crisis, right? Because there were so many people coming into the country. What was the connective tissue between the Obama administration and the Biden administration that led to so many people coming into the country?
Can you tell me?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump
was the connective tissue between those two administrations, where we had a negative deportation rate versus quote unquote millions of undocumented immigrants coming to the country. Donald Trump actually created a self-fulfilling prophecy. Do you know what that means?
Tell me, because I'm learning.
Donald Trump ran on the border in 2016. He said that he was going to build the wall because we had caravans storming our southern borders. He told the world that our southern borders were wide open. He told the world that the reason why our country is unsafe and the reason why we need him is because we have all these people coming into our country through the southern border, and the fact that our country is wide open. But we know verifiably that's not true, right? We've already verified that that Barack Obama, again, deported millions of people. So that's just not true. But Donald Trump created that self-fulfilling prophecy in conjunction with the destabilization efforts that the American government engages in with these countries in the southern part of the hemisphere. In engaging in those destabilization efforts drove people to actually leave their country, right? And so since they were leaving their country and Donald Trump had been standing on his soapbox and screaming at the top of his lungs, the borders are open, people are coming, the borders are open, people are coming, they did just that. They left their countries that were destabilized by the United States of America, and they came to the United States of America. And Donald Trump even knew that he couldn't handle what he created. Donald Trump fought to try to get funding for his border wall, so much so that he ended up going to the Army Corps of Engineers and taking the budget from the Army Corps of Engineers to try to build the border wall, right? If you even take a look at prior to COVID, Donald Trump had a massive immigration crossing. People were coming into the country hand over fist, and he couldn't stop it. And if it wasn't for Title 42, then he would not have been able to actually slow down any type of immigration coming into the country. So again, the point that I'm trying to get to you is that it's not, we don't have a quote unquote border crisis because of, the Democrats let people in or because of mass amnesty or anything like that. It's literally a self-fulfilling prophecy that was created by Donald Trump. And now this new iteration of Donald Trump thinks that he can use use ICE as some type of police force to address it, but they're not even using ICE correctly for deportation. That's why the deportation rate is lower under Donald Trump than it was under Barack Obama or Joe Biden.
So, you're technically saying that Donald Trump caused it, but I think that the border was a great thing to do because I think that it, if you think about it, it creates.
The border was a great thing to do. What do you mean?
It was a great, Donald Trump, when he started building it, I think that was a great thing.
The border wall.
Yeah.
Donald Trump built less than 50 miles of border wall. He didn't do anything.
So why did Joe Biden stop the building of the border in his first week of when he got into office?
Because there was no point to actually, quote unquote, build the border wall. There's more efficient and effective ways to actually protect the border other than the wall. And so Joseph Robinette Biden and also Kamala Harris allocated money and resources to the other things that are more beneficial, like more border patrol, more technology like drones and things like that, instead of just building the wall. There's a large majority of the border that is that consists of areas that you can't even build a wall in. And then even when you do build a wall, you see that there's tunnels that go over, people are able to climb over the border wall and all this other stuff. So just building a wall it's not even a thing that would, positively impact us in a massive way.
Yeah, but I think that, when, for example, when you can legally claim asylum in this country by just stepping foot in US soil and you have a wall, I think that that incentivizes people to come, through like a legal port of entry, right? Because I've been,
asylum has nothing to do with legal ports of entry.
Well, you can incentivize it. You know what I mean? Like you can, for example, a wall is obviously not limiting people to cross and jump the wall, but it's actually telling people, hey, you know what? I'm going to rethink it because I don't want to lose my life.
For you, why do you think that, like with asylum, why do you think it's important to not pigeonhole people into coming into a port of entry?
I think that it's a great thing, dude, because
No, that's not the question. The question is, why do you think that when it comes to claiming asylum, it's important not to pigeonhole people into coming through a port of entry?
They have to come and get
why would it be bad to say, hey, the only way that you can claim asylum is if you come through one of these ports of entry?
Because that would actually give like the government a reason on why they should let you stay in here. Because once you claim asylum, I know you're going through the process.
I think you're not listening to the question or you're not understanding. And that's why I changed.
I know what you're saying. You're saying that why is it like a bad thing, or why is it a good thing?
Can you answer the question? Why is it a bad thing for the only way to be able to claim asylum is to go through a port of entry?
Well, I don't think it's a bad thing.
Okay. What's the purpose of claiming asylum?
Because you fear persecution.
Not persecution.
I don't know, from the government.
It's a credible threat on your life.
Yeah.
So if people are fleeing countries because they are in threat of being killed, right? Yeah. It's important to be able to give them the opportunity to get here to claim asylum, no matter which route they have to get in, instead of saying that you're forced into this route. If you force someone through coming through these specific ports, then, well, hell, people like the cartel that look to actually murder people can set up checkpoints prior to that actual port that the people have to go through, and they can stop them there. And so they can kidnap, kill, or do whatever they want if they know that they're pigeonholed into these specific areas. And so if you're claiming asylum and you're actually granted asylum, that means that you have a credible threat on your life. And so if you have a credible threat on your life for the United States and for international law, because asylum is international law, it doesn't matter that if you swim through the Rio Grande, if you come over the northern border, hell, if you actually parachute into the country. The point of asylum is getting into the country any way that you can, and then going through a credible threat assessment and then providing that type of protection. So like sitting here saying that we should have people coming through legal ports of entry, that would be harmful for the people that are literally fleeing other countries to protect their lives.
So you're saying that by not having a border, it would be a great thing because that would actually, put people in less danger because of the narcos and stuff, setting, checkpoints and stuff before the legal port of entry, right?
When did I say anything about not having a border?
Well, because you're saying that it's a bad thing to come just through legal ports of entries.
Okay, so what does that have to do with not having a border?
Because in what other way would people cross?
They can cross anywhere. Like, I didn't say anything about not having a border. I just said don't pigeonhole people into specific points. You do understand that, that ports of entry is not at every spot along the border.
I meant the border wall. That's what I meant.
Okay, I guess try your question again because I'm
what you said, right? It's bad to pigeon people and tell them, hey, the only way to claim asylum is to come, through a legal port of entry. So by you saying that, you're saying that other people should be able to come and just cross the border. And one of the ways that they will be able to cross the border is by not having a border wall. Because how would you cross a border if there's a border wall? from a legal port of entry.
Tunnels. You can go over the wall. You can go under the wall. You can, hell, in certain spots, you can go through the wall because it's wide enough as far as an opening. The border wall has nothing to do with asylum. Like, doesn't even connect.
Well, by tunnels, don't you think that narcos use those tunnels to traffic drugs?
Yeah.
And that's what you're incentivizing?
I'm not who said anything about incentivize it? You said, how do they get into the country if there's a border wall? I'm just telling you how you get into the country without a border wall. That has nothing to do with drug dealers. Most drugs come through legal ports of entry and they're brought in by United States citizens. So none of that even matters and that doesn't even connect. I didn't say any of that. I'm just talking about the fucking border wall that you for some reason think is necessary.
Well, I don't know how hard it is for you to understand that just incentivizes people to come here and get a vetting process. But because I think that, and you and I think that people should get background checks before they cross the border, because if we don't know who these people are, they're a national security risk. Aren't they?
No.
How are they not? Because we don't know who these people are.
What state do you live in?
Well, I used to live in Texas, but now I'm in like Florida.
Okay. You know everybody in Georgia?
No, I don't.
Do you think people coming from Georgia to Florida is a national security risk?
No, because they were born here and they already have.
What does that have to do with anything? Do you know what domestic terrorism is?
Yeah, and I think that the country should be able to, the FBI does a great job with that, right?
They don't. Domestic terrorism, specifically done by Christian white nationalists, is not only been something that's on the uptick, but has been overwhelmingly harmful to America as a whole. So, like, the idea that, we're importing terrorism or importing people who are violent, like, no, that's homegrown. Like, we have a monopoly on terroristic violence in the United States because we build that shit. We make that shit better than we make apple pies or fucking Ford cars or whatever. Like, none of the stuff that you're saying is making sense just by saying, we don't want them there because we don't know who, we don't know who these people are that's in our United States and we're already in the country that are homegrown and they keep killing people. So
would you agree, for example, these ICE agents that did this, right? If we didn't have their documentation, if we never had them on record, if we never knew who these people are, wouldn't it be hard for another administration to find on who these people were?
What?
I'm giving you the example. You saw these two ICE agents, or I don't know, it was 3 or 4 that, unalived 2 citizens, right? In the ICE, whatever raids in Minneapolis. Do you remember?
No.
Okay. And I'm asking you, right? If we didn't know who these people were because they were immigrants and we had no background information about them and we didn't have them on record, how would we know who these people are? And how would we find them if we don't even know their name or we don't have them on record? And that's a national security risk. Maybe it's hard for you to understand, but it's easy for me to understand. Because if we have a problem here by citizens, then we can deal with that because they're citizens.
Okay, so what you're saying isn't hard for me to understand. What I'm saying, what you're saying is illogical for multiple reasons, and even more so, you keep bouncing from one thing to the next without actually making anything connect and without actually addressing the things that I'm saying. And so, we're literally just playing ping pong at this point. You have one thought and then you have another thought and then you have another thought, and none of your thoughts actually connect. But for some reason in the back of your mind, you think that it's all coherent thoughts, and it's not. This is not a linear dialogue. We're just talking about random shit all at once. And the random shit, the random shit is in proximity of each other, but it's not connected. And see, that's the problem, because you just keep saying shit that doesn't make sense. So this is what I'm going to do. I want you to take a minute. I want you to take a minute and really think about it. I'm going to thank a couple of people and then I'm going to give you the floor. And then I would really like for you to give me a coherent, cogent thought. Okay?
Okay.
All right. W's in the chat for Kelton for the $5 donation saying, have you checked on Kobe? No, I haven't, but I'll check on it. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for letting me know. W's in the chat for Rust Belt for the $5 super chat to say, no, the matriarchal society, guess this guy hasn't heard about countries that had queens as the primary leader. Yeah, he didn't. That was a fucking stupid point. W's in the chat for Bethany for the $2 Canadian to say, we need ICE because JFK was shot. WTF. Exactly.
Because of
It's
9/11.
exhausting. I'm talking to the chat. Debbie's in the chat for Kelly for the $10 donation saying donating to the Black Job Fund. Kelly, thank you so much for the 10 towards the Black Job Fund. You're fucking awesome. Debbie's in the chat for Angie for the $5 donation saying, hey, Santana, talking about immunization, a small town by me has 14 cases of measles. So many fragile MAGAs when we could have had the well-educated Black woman. Exactly. Like the fucking crazy part about like measles is that it literally was almost completely eradicated. Now it's made a massive comeback within our country. It's crazy. Debbie's in the chat for Sierra for the $5 donation saying you're awesome. No, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Debbie's in the chat for Xanda for the $2 donation saying sending love. Hope your day gets easier. Also, the pronunciation is I'm Zayden. Zayden. I'm so sorry. It's Cherokee. And the ICE issue I mentioned yesterday, the shit, I'm gonna mess that up again. The Oglala Sioux tribe in Minnesota. I'm so glad that you said that. I'm so sorry. 3/4 of the members tribe were illegally detained and still missing weeks later. Thank you so much, Zayden, for that donation. I fuck it up, said Oglala. Is that correct? Now you guys are adding additional stuff. Is it Oglala? Yes, Oglala. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. Oglala. Debbie's in the chat for Chelsea for the 25 donation saying, behind on the live, and I wanted to say the left only hurts itself when they tone police and attack each other at any sign of a human moment, especially when accountability is genuine and immediate. We need to support and learn from each other. The fight is outside, not within. I completely agree. And Debbie's in the chat for Lavender for the $1 donation. Bro has an accent. He does. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat. I will read that out, guys. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 500,000 likes. And also make sure you hit that follow button. Please, please, please hit that follow button. All right, Joe, I'm going to throw it to you. I would like a coherent, coherent thought as far as like any of the stuff that you've been saying, or basically the justification of ICE. That would be completely awesome if you could do that.
Okay, I'll try my best and I'll keep it short because I think I go a little bit off topic. But my statement basically is, right, if we vet everyone that comes into this country and we know who everyone is, we wouldn't need ICE because they are in our record. People that come here, when you said they come through tunnels or they, if we never had a border, then that would incentivize people to come here the wrong way without no proper vetting, and we would not know who these people are. They could have, for example, have committed crimes in their home country, so we have to go find them. They don't have crimes here because we don't have them on record. So how will we find them?
Yeah, so when you talk about the amount of people that have been detained by ICE, only 3 to 5% is people with violent criminal records. And when you talk about the actual vetting process, again, if you want to implement a better vetting process, then we allocate resources, time, and energy to improving the system, not in tracking down people that are adding to the country and trying to force them out. Like one thing that Donald Trump said while he was running for office, he told his Republican counterparts that were already in power to vote down the Langford bill. And he said that once we get power, we'll be able to pass a piece of legislation that would be overwhelmingly more beneficial and Republican leaning. The issue with that is ever since he's taken power, he hasn't addressed any type of border legislation that would address any of these things. And so that's the big problem. So, I mean, the point as far as like vetting, I mean, the way that you improve vetting is by allocating more resources for judges, for Border Patrol, and all this other stuff, and speed up the process versus just saying like, hey, we're going to dump a bunch of money into ICE agents.
Can you see these numbers? I don't know if you can see them, but here it says this is by cbp.gov. It says total criminal convictions by type. Why were the numbers under, like you see Barack Obama, I think that under Donald Trump, they were low, right? But when Joe Biden got into office, the numbers were high, and these are apprehensions too in the border. Like if you see here, for example, illegal reentry in 2023, it was like 8,000. 2024, it was 11,000, and it was 7,000. So,
hey Joe,
his policies didn't clearly work as great as he wanted them.
Hey, Joe,
yeah.
Do you remember like maybe about 5 to 7 minutes ago, I said I wanted to have a linear dialogue?
We are having one. We're talking about people.
What was the last thing that I talked about?
And you know what? I'm dropping because you're not paying attention. Have a good day.
I'm not paying attention because you can't fucking track a conversation. I'm not paying attention because I sat here and talked about the fact that there was legislation needed to address the border so we can actually address the people that come through vetting. You literally said we need to vet these people. And then I addressed how we vet these people. What are we doing? W's in chat for Linda for the $1 donation. Hey Santana, can you tell me how I find your Discord? I have no idea how to use the app, and I was going to see maybe if you can help me. I've been a long time listener and supporter and need some help. In order to get into the Discord, you have to be either a member over on YouTube or a super fan here on TikTok. And so those are the ways that you get into the Discord. If you are not a member or on Discord or a super fan and you need help, then there's a link in my bio to the mutual aid. Now I can't say that specifically things will be done or whatever, but you can send the email over and we will take that in consideration. There's a vetting process and we try to work through those as best as possible. We just can't guarantee that each and every person will or will not get whatever. So, Kay, I will. W's in the chat. I'm sorry, guys, only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We're only looking for some debates. I don't know if this person's gonna load. A lighter, if you hear me and you wanna come back, because I saw you like request again, you can request back up. I'll get you up here. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
What?
Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Yes.
Yes, what?
I disagree about abolishing ICE.
Okay. Are you an American citizen?
Yeah. But I'm immigrant in the USA.
Okay, what state do you live in?
California.
What time is it in Cali?
No, I'm so cooked. No, wait. Oh, wait.
I don't understand why you thought that was funny. Hi, Trenton. Are you a Trump supporter?
Oh, no, nope. That was my bad. My bad. Sorry.
Don't worry, I'll drop you. Guys, I think we're gonna call it early. I know this has been a shorter live, but I think that it's kind of pertinent to end it here instead of keep going or hitting a reset. So I think I'm just gonna call it here. Maybe I'll be back later. Maybe I will do something. I don't know, but I think it's important to just go ahead and end the live here. So we're gonna call it. Hey, hit that follow button. If you see the word follow, hit that follow button. Also, 1 second, sorry. If you guys don't mind, follow the backup to the backup. Where is it? Dang it, where's the backup to the backup? Why is it not showing up? Let's see. Here it is. If you guys don't mind, please follow the backup to the backup. This is the backup to the backup. We're creating redundancy and we're ensuring that there's no issues when it comes to being able to get the information out and getting our message out. So yeah, let's do that. Said Parker's live. Yeah, go raid Parker. Tell him I said love from Santana. Go raid Parker, and I'm sure he'll have some great debates over there. So follow this account, follow that account. If you're over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up before you leave out, please and thank you. We're gonna go ahead and call it.
You stepped in a box, now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here, you better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in shame. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Great stats will get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit. Yeah.
Guys, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I am sorry that this is a shorter than normal live, but we'll be back tomorrow for sure. And then we'll go from there. All right. One day at a time, one live at a time, one debate at a time. We'll figure this out together. I appreciate each and every one of you. I really, really do. Go raid Parker for me. Parker, get a job. Spam Santana raid. Love from Santana. Get over there and enjoy some debates, guys. Thank you for all the gifts, the taps, the likes, the shares. Thank you all for hanging out. I love you all. And as always,